Okay, happy Friday. Welcome everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to those in television land. Welcome to our silent viewers. Welcome to those in the chat. Happy Friday. Hope everyone had a wonderful and productive week. And as usual, looking forward to a wonderful and productive weekend. Welcome to Mystic Sensation Live with your host Byron and Anne-Marie. And tonight our topic is going to be democracy under siege. So guys, I'm just going to ask you when you come into the live, just thumbs up the live, share us out. And if you're new to the channel, please show us some support by subscribing. It will be greatly appreciated. And share us out as much as you can. So again, thank you so much and happy Friday. So happy Friday. Again, welcome. Welcome to Truck Life. As usual, happy Friday. Say enough love and appreciation for all that you do. Michelin Doll and Michibu and Fred Albert, welcome. Happy Sunday to you over there Saturday, sorry. It mixed up now. Happy Saturday to you over there in Australia. And Moya's Way, welcome. Happy Friday. And Wayne Evans, welcome. Happy Friday. Blessed Friday. Georgina, from Happy Team, welcome. Happy Friday. Miss Yvonne, welcome. She's saying good night to you both in Jesus' name. Amen. Good night to you as well, Miss Yvonne. Thank you so much for tuning in and more blessings to you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate each and every one. All right, so I am not going to take up much time. I'm just going to hand over to Baron to start the discussion.
All right. My wonderful, ardent listeners, as usual, thank you again for passing through. Right. As you see the thumbnail, right? I am of the opinion that as it relates to our Prime Minister of Jamaica, and as a result of series of allegations of corruption, I myself came to the conclusion as it relates to the Prime Minister pushing against the walls of justice and slowly and surely eroding our constitutional rights. Slowly and surely defeating democracy. And of course, definitely showing signs of course, being a dictator. We have seen that the Prime Minister had gone against constitutional norms to secure himself from possible investigations, right, that will follow after he demits office. And so then he's making sure that other institutions falling parallel with his corruption. And so we have seen the efforts, the extreme effort, right, as it relates to going against the constitutional norms. We have seen the Prime Minister hold 19 different agencies under his office. That's never done before. We have seen the Prime Minister and other members of Parliament trying to eliminate the Integrity Commission, trying to dissolve the Integrity Commission as it relates to investigation that the Integrity Commission has been doing and tendering those reports. And so then they are trying all sort of, things to create mayhem. But before we go into that, yes, Ricardo. Oh, Ricardo, good night. Byron, I appreciate what your platform has been doing. Expose corruption in our country, but I don't know who else are going to stop Andrew Holness because Mark Golden too soft, sir. All right. Ricardo, to be honest, I really don't think that Mark Golden is too soft. And let me explain to you, Ricardo. Mark Golden, as it relates to the electorate, the voting population, who had given Andrew Holness a 49 win, right, over the People's National Party, only have 14 members of parliament, right? And so then any bill that the Jamaica Labour Party want to pass, right, obviously they are going to pass it because they have the majority as it relates to what the electorate had given them. And so then, of course, Mark Golden will talk on these issues. Mark Golden will emphasize on these issues. But you have to understand that he only can speak on them, right? And what he can challenge, right, he will try to challenge. But again, he cannot overrule or overturn, right, a decision that 49 persons are going to rule on. And so then he is, right, at handicap where that is concerned in terms of making certain changes, right? You have seen, like, for example, in terms of what we're going to talk about later, where the Prime Minister wants to extend the DPP time, right? Now, if Mark Golden did have the numbers, right, well, Mark Golden could have opposed that because they wouldn't have gotten the numbers of vote, you understand, so that the DPP extension, you understand, can be, be extended as it relates to the intent. But as it relates to information received, that it doesn't really goes for the current DPP, even although they intended to do that. So they are still an obstacle where that is concerned. Arthur Phillips said, since Mark has become the leader, he has been defending us non-stop. And Arthur Phillips, I honestly agree with you. And so let us start, because we need to, inform, all Jamaican people, right? Both locally and diaspora. People stating that, okay, Mark Golden is soft and Mark Golden is. People have to understand that, look here, it is one government at a time as it relates to the Constitution. Mark can oppose certain things on behalf of the people, right? But when it comes to certain policy decision where you have to vote on, there is nothing Mark can do, right? We have seen that Andrew Holness is going against constitutional norms, right? It is plain that we have seen that. However, Mark only can do what he can do, right? As it relates to oppose, speaking about it, right? And, in the public, just giving that information. But again, people need to understand that a lot of these medias are discreetly censored, right? Because the PBCJ, right, is what also under the administration of the Prime Minister. And so then Mark Golden has not been highlighted the way he ought to be highlighted in terms of dealing with the issues. So we are up against something that we are fighting, a demon that is very strong and wrong. A demon who wants to use might, right, to beat right. And so then this is what we are struggling with. Now we're going to discuss that further on to come. But I want to clarify something as it relates to certain information that I had spoken about last week. And the information as it relates to the diplomatic role between United States and Jamaica, because we are going to address several of those other issues. We have a lot of issues to address. So, but I want to clear up something, right? Now, I believe that as it relates to when you are doing investigations, right? And one of the reasons why I'm going back there to make people be aware of certain information, right? As it relates to, you know, one of the reasons why Russia, right? Russia was sanctioned by the United States. There's a narrative out there that United States is pushing back against country that form alliance with Russia and China, right? As it relates to those countries, China and Russia, who are pursuing bauxite, and as it relates to certain elements that they use to make sophisticated weaponries and so forth and so forth. While, of course, the aluminum carried several elements that very important and very valuable, right? That is not the reason why United States sanctioned Russia. So I want to clarify that, right? As it relates to the argument to say that, okay, all right, Russia was sanctioned because of bauxite development and so forth and so forth and so forth. Now, when you are doing investigation, you have to use your what you call your probatory tools of investigation. So you ask what happened, when it happened, where it happened, how it happened, and why it happened. So this is what I'm saying, right? We know that United States sanctioned Russia. Now, but the question, why did the United States sanction Russia? I am going to show you evidence that go contrary where people are talking about bauxite. These countries are pursuing aluminum, right? And US want to stop that sort of influence and so forth, which is not true. So I am going to show a document as it relates to the particular reason. We see the United States Senate Maxine Walters, right, who was talking about sanctions as it relates to Russia. But why Maxine was talking about the sanction? No, we are going to show you what happened and why Russia was sanctioned. And then we are going to get into some geopolitics. Just to clear up, when I talk about United States using the Magnitsky Act, right, against Jamaica as it relates to the two diplomats that, you know, did not get the diplomatic immunity as, you know, the post required. So we're going to clear up certain things, you understand, and show people that United States sanctioning Russia wasn't anything about doing with bauxite, right? But it is more serious as it relates to using the Magnitsky Act for humanitarian purpose. So without any further ado, I'm going to put up the document and I'm going to let you read it so then we can bury the argument as it relates to why United States sanction Russia and United States is pushing back on influence to say that these countries are pursuing bauxite and so forth and so forth and so forth, right? So let us show the document and we're going to read and show the reason why Maxine Walters, right, sanction Russia. All right. Without any further ado, on it, play that thing.
Okay. All right. So welcome to those who have recently joined in. Okay, so Glenette is saying good night. I just want the people to know that Mark is fighting a bull with his hands only. The smart people have to understand and give Mark some power.
Thank you, Glennox. We are going to discuss a lot tonight. We are going to get into all of those details tonight.
Okay, which one do you want to? This one?
No. Where's the information? Go. Hold on. Scroll down. Just bear with me, people. Let me find that information. Where's the phone? Okay, because I want to show the evidence. In the meantime, what it is. The name is which one? Okay, here is.
Okay.
All right. So yes, we are.
Right here. It's right here.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to share the document. That's it.
Let me just make sure it's been shared properly. Okay, there we go.
Okay, so this is the document. Kingston, May 23, Russian aluminum giant Rusal has been making steady payments to Jamaica as a part of a 2021 agreement to pay back production taxes it owes the government, according to Jamaica Transport and Mining Minister Audley Shaw. Rusal has paid about 45% so far of a 35 million bauxite production levy that it owes Kingston, Shaw told Reuters. They are current in payment, he said. As a part of the 2021 agreement, Rusal paid the government 40% of debt upfront last fall and then agreed to make 30 monthly payments starting in November 2021. They have been honoring the agreement, Shaw said. Russia's March invasion of Ukraine. So people, listen. So this is not about United States is pushing back because of bauxite. The reason for United States to sanction Russia and Maxine Henry had spoken on it was to the fact that Russia March invasion of Ukraine, which Russia terms, right, a special military operation. That is the pretext that he used to go to war with Ukraine, and as such, fuel a range of international sanctions against Moscow and Russian-based companies. Rusal is not under sanctions by Jamaica or the United States, but the company has warned that Western sanctions on Moscow may complicate its international project. Let us read more. Yes, Rusal, the world's largest aluminum producer outside of China, runs a bauxite and aluminum production complex in Jamaica via its subsidiary, Vindalco. Vindalco has an unusual production capacity of 502,000 tons of alumina 4 million tons of bauxite, according to its website. In 2020, Rusal globally produced 8.2 million tons of alumina, a key raw material used to make aluminum. Rusal founder, this is who now the United States sanctioned. Rusal founder, Russian aluminum tycoon Oleg Deripaska. Let me read that. Rusal founder, Russian aluminum tycoon Oleg Deripaska has been sanctioned by the United States, European Union, and Britain. Deripaska has previously called for peace. Take away that. Okay. So there, I clarified that as it relates to the United States using the Magnitsky Act against Russian oligarchs. Why? So it has nothing to do with any form of alumina and different extractions of different elements from the alumina. It has nothing to do with that. The reason why the Russian oligarch was sanctioned was to the fact that Russia had stepped into Ukraine and begin a war in Ukraine. So we are going to speak now and get into the depth of things. Now, when Russia stepped into Ukraine and the United States passed the sanction and Russia, right, for them to seize bauxite operation in Jamaica, not only in Jamaica, across the globe. When that sanction happened, what happened? The BRICS nation, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, they got panic. They got panic for the reason to the fact that United States had used the Magnitsky Act to seize all of Vladimir Putin's assets globally. And so then the BRICS really get worried about it and decided that, look, we have to do something about this, because their set of worry is to say that, I mean, what happened to Russia can happen to us. And so then the BRICS, right, decided to try to separate themselves from the dollar. So if the argument would say that United States is trying to push against country that, you know, size up with China and Russia as a result of, you know, them want to sign on the BRICS, right? Then I could have understood what that line of argument is. So I would merit that sort of argument. And so then, because the BRICS get panic, the BRICS wanted now to separate from the dollar, because the way it's set is that if you're going to trade, right, from country to country, the rules is that you have to trade with the United States dollar, right? And so then, for persons who are trading in the United States dollar, it makes the United States dollar stronger, right? So I want people to understand that there's nothing to do with any bauxite and earth elements and rare earth, red mud and red this and red that. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the sanctions against Russia because Russia went into Ukraine. And that's what the sanction for. So we don't want to twist up. When you come over here, you come over here to learn, right? Okay. I am going to show you that this was serious. So I'm going to show you how China felt about the sanctions. Play the next clip.
Okay, so welcome everyone who's recently joined. Happy Friday. This one.
Xi. Yeah.
Okay.
About global economic pain from Chinese President Xi Jinping. He criticized sanctions for stoking those pains in a speech kicking off this year's BRICS summit. Take a listen.
是一再证明
politicizing, instrumentalizing, and weaponizing the world economy using a dominant position in the global financial system to wantonly impose sanctions would only hurt others as well as hurting oneself, leaving people around the world suffering.
President Xi also looking to bolster relations with emerging markets amid strained Western ties. For more, let's bring in Bloomberg's Greater China Senior Executive Editor, John Liu. John, this is a really interesting grouping, right? I mean, we call them BRICS because they're emerging economies, but at the same time, geopolitically speaking, and how they're aligned, especially with India being a close ally to the U.S. What sort of message was President Xi trying to send?
I think China sees geopolitics, no matter where it is around the world, in the lens of Beijing vis-a-vis Washington. And I think with the invasion of Ukraine, Xi Jinping is using this opportunity to speak to this audience in the emerging markets, which maybe didn't have that much skin in the game when it came to the Ukraine, but is now feeling the repercussions of not only the sanctions, but of higher commodity prices, higher food prices as a result of that invasion, and trying to speak to that audience and trying to gather some support for China's position, which is sort of diplomatically supporting Russia, but also trying to put much of the blame for the conflict on the U.S. when it comes to NATO and its expansion in Eastern Europe.
John, we know that there are expectations for a Xi Biden call sometime perhaps this summer. Are the tariffs on China likely to be reviewed at this point?
I mean, all the noise that we're hearing out of Washington at the moment is that, yes, they will be reviewed, and very likely some portion of those tariffs will be removed in a way that will help the U.S. in terms of inflation, but then leave President Biden some room politically, domestically, as we come to the midterm. That should be a point of discussion when the two leaders meet. Obviously, China would like to see those tariffs lowered, especially with the economy as weak as it is right now.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the economy, because it seems China wants to continue to ease up on regulations, especially around the fintech sector as well. What do we know?
So Xi Jinping, in addition to the BRICS summit yesterday, also spoke at a meeting of the Commission to Deepen Reform. And there he talked about supporting the platform economies, which is sort of a way of talking about big tech. And obviously, companies like Alibaba, companies like Tencent have really suffered from this crackdown in terms of anti-competitive behavior and other regulatory things. But they are really large, important employers. And as the economy slows, as jobs become scarcer, China needs those companies to step up and to help with that employment situation.
Are you sick of having...
Okay. So there it is, right, for us to now understand, a full understanding that that sanction, as it relates to Russia, as it relates to the subsidiary Windalco, has nothing to do with any red mud and any bauxite, all right, but has to do with Ukraine. So we clear that, we clarify that. Now we are going to move on as it relates to the Magnitsky Act. This is not the first time, right, where United States is using the Magnitsky Act in Jamaica. I am going to show people again where the Magnitsky Act was also used, right, in earlier days in Jamaica. So without any further ado, I am going to show you evidence where the Magnitsky Act has been used. Because what the Magnitsky Act does, any breaches against humanity, right? Whether like the discrimination against the American ambassadors, right? Extrajudiciary killing, right? Gross misconduct as it relates to government officials, right? United States can use the Magnitsky Act against corrupted government officials out of the shores of the United States. They use it globally. And so then this is what it's scare about, right? And so then that's why the BRICS now is trying to separate themselves from the dollar. So it's all about the dollar. Now, let us show where some Jamaicans, the Magnitsky Act used against them. So let us show that. 6 Jamaicans.
Okay. This one.
Yeah. Okay, so here's it. Washington, the United States chair.
Yeah.
Washington, the United States Department on Thursday announced sanctions against Jamaicans for human rights violations. Those 6 were among 17 people in China, El Salvador, as I said, Jamaica use it, USA use it globally, and Jamaica to be sanctioned by the US. The 6 Jamaicans were part of the controversial Renito Adams-led crime management unit that was criticized as a trigger-happy police squad that committed multiple extrajudicial killings. Take that away. Okay, evidence again to show you how the Magnitsky Act used against Renito Adams. That's why Renito Adams and other policemen who the Magnitsky Act used against cannot travel to the United States of America. They can't, because the Magnitsky Act used against them, right? And so then this is the way our United States discipline, right, as it relates to breaching any act, any humanitarian breaches, right? United States will execute that. Now, so when country like Jamaica, let me go back there now. When country like Jamaica and other countries taking loans, grants, and so to speak, right, from United States, they must understand that taking these loans it comes with certain conditions. It comes with certain conditions, right? One of the conditions is where the Magnitsky Act can apply. So people need to understand that. So now we clear that. We clear that. Now we are going to come back to Jamaica now and deal with Jamaica and the corruption. You understand? And then we left out of people foreign business. Because, yeah, they are yard now. We are dealing with Jamaica business now. Now, people, we have to talk. When we talk about corruption with this government, it is a never-ending thing. We have seen budget overrun, right, when it comes to the Cornwall Regional Hospital and many other projects that the Jamaica Labour Party government, right, has been doing, and then budget overrun and all sort of hanky-panky. Now, I am going to show you a clip as it relates to the Gleaner carrying this news. Another $10 billion cost overrun as it relates to NWA. We are going to deal with the discussion now, straight up. Anyone notice how silent the PSOJ has been about everything that is going on? Had it been the PNP, they would have been out giving orders. So hold on. Straight up, let me tell you this. One of the reasons why the PSOJ writes silent on the matter, because some members within the PSOJ, right, is automatically facing pressure from the Integrity Commission, but things soon come to bomb. So we are going to tread along tonight and let us speak as it relates to the ultimate corruption. So then let us look into what is going on in the NWA, right? So let us read the document and then we explain it.
I still have to go in here. Welcome to those who have recently.
All right.
In. Gonna share.
Okay. Read it.
Okay, $10 billion overrun. NWA overshoots roadwork budget on 5 projects. The Auditor General Department finds, and this was July 26, 2023 in the Jamaica Gleaner. The National Road Agency incurred cost overrun totaling US $63.4 million, which is equivalent to Jamaica $9.8 billion for rehabilitation work on 5 of 6 main roads under the Major Infrastructure Development Program, dubbed MIDP. An audit of the state agency books has determined. Further, higher than anticipated costs of US $3.9 million were incurred for fixtures on 2 of the 6 roads. The findings are contained in an Auditor General's Department report to the NWA, which was tabled in Parliament on Tuesday. The 55-page report, which was the subject of contention in the House of Representatives for more than a month, was submitted to House Speaker Marissa Dalrymple Philibert on June 6. However, Philibert, in a move described as unprecedented, sought to reverse parliamentary practice by holding the report and 2 others from Auditor General Pamela Monroe Ellis for 2 months before tabling them. Dalrymple had defended her decision, noting that she was guided by Section 30 of the Financial Administration and Audit Act. Section 30 of the law provides for the Auditor General's report on a public body to be tabled where the minister with responsibility for that public body fails to report to this Parliament within a 2-month period. The decision has since been partially walked back after it was determined that the section does not apply to executive agencies such as the NWA. The performance audit was conducted to determine whether the NWA had managed the implementation of capital projects effectively, efficiently, and economically to maintain the country's main road network to achieve value for money. Monroe Ellis and team viewed expenditure for 6 of 7 major roads selected by infrastructure development and rehabilitation under the MIDP.
Okay, take it up. All right.
Okay.
So, my wonderful ardent listeners, this is not a surprise. This is not a surprise. Arthur Phillips, don't forget that the PSOJ was formed to stop the great Michael Manley. We are going to discuss that. And when I'm talking about democratic socialism, and I like, you're pushing this panel, right, as it relates to information, which you're perfectly right. So when we look on the level of corruption, right, under the Jamaican Labour Party government, people, let us start. Because the persons who want to defend, right, the Jamaican Labour Party, and let me say, we should have a right to do so, it's your choice. But I'm asking, are you blind? When you see, right, as it relates to everything that the Jamaican Labour Party is doing as it relates to projects, right? You have seen the signs of misappropriations, and it goes on and goes on and goes on. Cornwall Regional Hospital was budgeted for X, and now it's gone roughly about 4 or 5 times the amount. These are people, right, who have no heart in them and understand that all of this is going back on the poor taxpayers. And so then, we will be facing the inflation, right? Because we have to pay it back. And so then I want for Jamaican, I want for people to understand these pocketbook issues, right? These are issues that are going to affect you. I'm not talking about, right, you dilated. Now, let me say this. I told you why I am defending Mark Golding, right? And I'm defending Mark Golding for the principles of democratic socialism. I am not hiding that. I am as plain as day. And so then, we are talking about the principles that uplift Jamaican people on a whole. Some time ago, I said that when PNP, if you do the history, I've shown some economic development from 1962 coming straight up to 2021. Who remember that history can go back on that clip. And you can see where every time on that history where PNP make a progress, GLP dig it down. So to every forward movement we make, whenever GLP at the helm, it's pressure. It's always pressure. A level of criminality. The history is so clear to show you. Right? I can ask the question. Which PNP member of parliament had gone to prison? None in the history of the politics. Now we can talk about Colonel Spencer. The fact of the matter, he had processed through a court system and the court found him not guilty. Now let us talk about Jack Smith. He processed through a court system and the court found him guilty. You see what I'm saying? But that is not the only atrocities that Jamaican Labour Party caused the Jamaican people. Democratic socialism will push forward, right, in fighting for equal pay for women. And you know, every time I speak about that, I really try to want to understand if Jamaican women, I'm speaking to Jamaican women now, if Jamaican women understand what democratic socialism had done, what Michael Manley had done. There was a time in our history, my Jamaican woman, let me talk to you, where you weren't getting the pay for the same job that a man is doing, that you are doing. People's National Party recognized that and recognized the unfairness. Not Jamaica Labour Party recognized that. The history is there to prove that it recognized by the People's National Party under the philosophy of democratic socialism that I'm speaking about. And Michael Manley fought for that. Equal pay for women. Michael Manley also fought for 40 hours work, and anything beyond the 40 hours work week should be paid time and a half. So for all those people who jumping up as it relates to Jamaica Labour Party, I'm asking, right? As it relates to these progress that were made, significant progress that were made, right? Show me something significant that the Jamaica Labour Party had done. Jamaica Labour Party had caused mayhem when Edward Seige, right, lied to the CIA and said Michael Manley was going communist. That lie that he told caused many Jamaicans to be killed. Many Jamaicans to be killed. Right? And this is evident. We have information relating to that. We have clip to prove that. Right? And so then, when we are talking about these fundamental principles. These are bedrock principles that today we have seen where, right, you have the security guards, right, been fighting for justice. Many security guards in Jamaica, right, being treated as contract workers. And where the security guards, right, they had gone to court. And even that the ruling passed in the favor of the security guard. The greedy monsters still want to penalize and force the security guards. You understand? To continue contract work. So I'm wondering if the government now realize this. If the government now realize that the court had ruled on that, and why the government is not ensuring that these policies being enforced. But guess what? The government seems like they're in bed with Kenneth Benjamin. Kenneth Benjamin are enslaving those guards against constitutional norms. And even when the court ruled and set the premise, it is not being followed, still today has been disobeyed by Kenneth Benjamin. And Kenneth Benjamin are big friends, big buddies, right? So this is it as it relates to the level of corruption. Now, there you have it as it relates to, let us go back now to the $10 billion cost overrun. Right? Now, when I look at these things, my people, we are going to what? Continue with the Jamaica Labour Party, right? Where we are not getting any form of representation. Now that election is in the air, 2 years away from election, a lot of road projects being promised. A lot of things that have been there 7 years. I have showed you a clip last week where you have the leakage, the raw sewage in downtown Kingston, in the commercial center. And they are not fixing that. But yet, they are promising how many $1 billion road work. This is crazy. This is crazy. All right, let us go to Mark Golden. And let me say this, people. Mark Golden, right, wanted a country of checks and balance. Remember, we are going to get into some things. Mark Golden wanted a country of checks and balance. But I'm going to have you listen to Mark Golden.
Okay. Let me just open this up. This one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And to always promise the people that they will be able to sleep with their windows and doors open. That is the cruelest failed promise ever, because Jamaica has never felt less safe and less secure. This government is the most corrupt government in the history of Jamaica. Bar none. There have been scandal after scandal after scandal. I don't even want to go through the list, but Never Struggle Martin have a new tune, and them list them out. And it's like the tune can't done. The way out the number of scandals so long. And there are more to come. Because when you see how they are taking on the Integrity Commission in Parliament, and they want to restrict its investigation powers, they want to restrict its prosecutorial powers, them of course the leadership of it, obviously they know something is amiss. And I say to Jamaica, don't let the Labour Party undermine that institution. Defend that institution, because we don't want a country where corruption dominates the politics of the country. The country must be able to move beyond that system of corruption that the JLP has brought on the land. You will. There is a wave across Jamaica. There is a wave of orange. The people of Jamaica are increasingly looking to the People's National Party to take them out of this mess that the Jamaica Labour Party has put Jamaica in. So it's reacting to what they feel under the Green leadership. The Jamaica Labour Party has created a situation in the country where the people have made up their mind that they have had enough. They don't want any more term of the under-handholdness on the Labour Party. The people of Jamaica are increasingly looking to the People's National Party to take them out of this mess that the Jamaica Labour Party has put Jamaica in.
My golden ready, we're ready, yeah, we're ready, we're ready, yeah, we're ready, we're ready, yeah, we're ready, yeah, we're ready, the people them ready, we're ready, yeah, we're ready, we're ready, yeah, we're ready, we're ready, yeah, we're ready, we're ready.
I'm going to tell you the
right.
easiest way to make money at home.
So, my people, we are going to reason tonight. We are going to reason that many of us have witnessed the plain corruption from the Jamaica Labour Party. Many of us have seen where the Prime Minister is going against constitutional norms. Some people say that they are not going to vote for JLP and they are not going to vote for PNP. So we are going to use our critical thinking skill tonight. And we're going to just present them like mathematics, right? And use the appropriate formula to solve these questions. So for the people who say they are not going to vote for PNP because Mark Golding don't have the energy, because they're looking for the energy. They are looking for the type of thing that they use to, might be the rowdiness and the loudness and the over gesticulation and all of that. They are looking for all of it. And for people who said they don't want to vote for the JLP because obviously the JLP is corrupt. Some people say that they don't want to vote for the UIC because the UIC has organizational problems, right? Have some interruptions amongst themselves. So they don't see UIC as a viable plan. People, let us reason with common sense. The Constitution make it clear. In the Constitution, it is tabled, it is written in the Constitution that there are only two ways you can have the Prime Minister demit office. Only two ways. Byron, what are the two ways? Number one, a vote of no confidence, where the majority member of parliament is going to vote on a vote of no confidence, right? And get the Prime Minister out. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not going to work. Let me explain why it is not going to work. It is not going to work because clearly we can see that the entire cabinet, the entire GLP members of parliament, 49 of them, they are all in bed with the corruption. So they are not going to vote against a vote of no confidence against Andrew. They are going to opt around him. Let me give you the example. Clear evidence from the Integrity Commission investigation between the period of 2006 to 2009, where Andrew Holness was the Minister of Education involved in awarding illegal contracts. We have one Jamaican Butu, who came out and told us all in Jamaica that by any means necessary, Butu Warmington is going to defend the Prime Minister. And anytime you speak anything against the Prime Minister, wrong or right, he's going to defend it. This is the man that sits on the oversight committee of the Integrity Commission. So you can see the placement of Andrew Holness, right? How Andrew Holness placed these persons in respective areas to protect his corruption. So then, there you have it, my Jamaican people, that a vote of no confidence as what the Constitution allowed, that will not use to demit the Prime Minister from office. They are not going to vote on a vote of confidence to take him out. Vote of no confidence. So let us push that aside. We are reasoning now. We are reasoning. The other option that we have, the Constitution allowed, is through an electoral process. This is where you and I, locally and in the diaspora, we are powerful with our vote. Powerful with our vote. Because we now have to decide that we need Jamaica. We want to win back Jamaica. So this is where it comes down now. So let me ask the question. So for the people who said they are not going to vote, because I don't trust the PNP and I don't trust the GLP. Remember, Mystic Sensation will tell you, right? My wife and I agree that, look, we did not say that the PNP is perfect and that the PNP is honest in everything. We know that there are corruptors in the PNP. Let me say it and let me speak it out. So then if we have to travel, right, with two evils. The common sense and the prudence, my friend, here, and to all of us, to have Jamaica move forward, we must choose the lesser of the two evils. If we are to say, all right, they're all corrupted, and you don't trust them. But then, from the moment you're not going to participate in the vote, and if the Jamaica Labour Party base comes out in full green, what does that formula take you? That if you don't vote and you don't participate, Jamaica Labour Party will continue their reign of tyranny. So then, do you want that? Is that what you want? For you not to participate, seeing the clear corruption, seeing that the Prime Minister is saying to us all that he owes us nothing when it comes to accountability. See where the Prime Minister has not signed the code of conduct, but I'm not going to discuss that yet. I'll leave that till we go further down in the program. I'm going to show you the signs of corruption. And when you look, what does that mean? You're going to carry on with the Jamaica Labour Party because no, sir, Mark just to serve. People, let me say this to you. You see the staff Mark they want to talk about? I want to say Mark too soft. Do you know, people, that Mark Golden is one of the members of Parliament who had tabled most legislation through the Parliament? Do you ever realize that? And the person who talked loud like Andrew Holness, ask him who talk loud and who articulate. Ask him how much him draw. So the man who's silent, right? The man who honest, the man who has been doing the work, the man who have vision to say, no, we can't continue like this. We need an impeachment bill. And where Andrew Holness promised in his first 100 years that he would have done that, had not done that. Now, let us talk about a third party. Let us talk about a third party. Since you want to talk about a third party. Which third party, whether UIC or any other party, I'm talking, any person in the chat can give me a better solution. All of the brainiest here tonight, and any person who is listening to me, any person who's listening to me, put a solution, put a formula as it relates to the way forward, and let me see that. Right? So then, this is what I'm saying. When you look at this situation that we have, a corrupted government, that majority of us agree that this government is corrupted. Right? Now, which third party is going to rise within 2 years? 2 years? We are 2 years. 2 years away from election. Which third party that is going to be risen up? Which third party that is going to be powerfully funded to take on Jamaica Labour Party? Talk to me. People in the chat, talk to me. Which third party is going to do that? And if you said, okay, all right, you read UIC mandate because I read it. And the mandate sound good. Right? Let me ask a question. Any politician who is coming in and selling a product, what do you think? They are going to tell you that their product You understand? Is negative or that and that. Everybody's going to talk good about their product. Everybody's going to talk good about their product. But the bottom line, I am saying, let us use history. Right? When Mark Golden was in the private sector, he had done successfully well. Let us use history now. Let us use history. Andrew Holness wasn't a businessman, you know? Right? He's a politician for all the years of his life. And then now people have wondered where he gets so much money from. He wasn't a businessman. He grew up as a pauper. So then, you look at Mark Golden, and you said, all right, let us put Mark Golden under the microscope. The man is highly educated. Right? So you have that to go and feel. The man is a lawmaker. You have that to go and feel. The man name is and the most legislations that pass. Him have that to go and feel. The man successful in a business. Him have that to go and feel. The man that makes up in no corruption. He have that to go and feel. But for showing how people bite some people and fear. The other day down, he is on the political campaign. Right? And he speak one thing and people want to spread it and people want to do this and people want to that and blah, blah, blah. And then they start to push him down. Look how many things Andrew Holness had done. But we tend to forgive all of what Andrew Holness done. And all of a sudden, okay, I make a mistake this up. Him shouldn't say that. No, I'm not saying that what he said. Right? As it relates to, if you're talking about dead people, votes and blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying that, okay, that was appropriate. But my God, man. My God. Right? The man came out and he apologized. Now, this is another significant thing. Came out, right? Admitted that he was wrong and apologized. So let me ask the whole world now. You tell me one time where Andrew Holness, being of the so many allegations, come out and apologize. Tell me one time. And if they preach it, we have to give what due to Caesar. Mark's a good person. Exactly, Andy. So now I want people to tell me, let us be truthful. Let us use the balance scale. Well, there's a reason why I born under the sign of Libra. Because I like to deal with balance. My sign is a balance sign. Right? And that's why me and my wife balance, because she's also Libra. We are balanced to people. So then when we look at it, when we look at it, we realize that, okay, this is it. Mark Golden, right, has been there, has done that, show success in his private career. Why you think he's not going to show success in his public career? He had shown the success in his private career. Why do we now think that he's not going to have success in his public career? Some of us Jamaican, I don't know where our level of thinking is. And that's the plain truth. That's the plain truth. And the truth be told, let me say it. When it comes to honesty and integrity, there's no comparison between Mark and Andrew. Andrew must not put beside Mark to compare when it comes to honesty. And that is the truth. That is the truth. I know it's going to be bitter to some people, belly, but it is the truth. Right? So then let me show that. And I'm speaking to the 63% of persons, no, 67% of persons who have not participated into the election. People, go out there, right, and vote. Because let me tell you something. Let me tell you, let me talk to the people. We understand what Andrew Holness is doing. We understand what Andrew Holness is doing. When Andrew Holness had given the judge that luxurious raise, 200% raise, when Andrew Holness made move, raise the commissioner pay, Andrew Holness made move as it relates to Rocky Mead. Look at the strategies, you know. Trying to corrupt the institutions of justice. And many institutions are falling weak as a result of Andrew Holness' influence. Andrew Holness had put many institutions against their mission statement. Andrew Holness-led government had put many institutions against their mandate. Andrew Holness' government corrupt the criminal justice system by installing and giving the DPP an extension. Why is it important to have this DPP continue? Why? Where this DPP turn a blind eye to SSL. Now let me talk. In the interest of this government fighting hard to have this DPP stayed on, has to be for the obvious reason. Has to be for the obvious reason. Reason number one, the DPP did not step in when the Integrity Commission investigate illegal contracts passed on to Gavin Brown. The DPP could have stepped in. The DPP overlooked that. Nothing coming from the DPP. Even when the public prosecutor claiming that time overdue, the public prosecutor did not say she did not find evidence, but was talking about time and complexity and all of that. The DPP could have stepped in. The DPP blind. Let us move up. Now we have a situation, right? And even although Jean and Panton now stated that you cross-carry advise her what to say. Today, as we speak right now, no police officer question you cross-carry. Google Gaga, let me talk to you. Right? So you be in the commissioner of police, but Andrew pay you the big bag of money. So him pay you for your silence. Google Gaga, you have been paid for your silence and for your participation in corruption. I have the evidence. The participation in corruption, let me tell you specifically. You have not instructed any of your men based on the information that provided from Jean and Pantan, speaking in tandem of you croskery. Even today, none of you question or instructed you croskery to be questioned. Isn't that corruption? Arthur, I like that. Arthur, I love that. Arthur, you think I'm going to put my point addiction? Well, this goes to show you, Mr. Google Gaga, right? That you are a puppet. You're a puppet as it relates to you being a commissioner of police. And you are corrupted. So then, prove to us that you have some balls. Prove to us that you have some balls that you can go against the corruption and said, officers, go and at least investigate, speak to you custody, show us to the public. But members of parliament, Nigel Clark, spoke on FBI. We know that damn lie, crawl, nothing coming from crawl. And now the judge, the court, right, want to allow them, right, to close the case. People know hear that? To close the case in SSL. Where the case doesn't even start to begin to investigate as yet. How corrupt that is. How corrupt that is. So we are moving on. So let us show you the concern, right, that we have, the opposition have, right? Let us show. So we're going to play the next clip. Constitution is on that. Here. So let us show you in terms of, right, the corruptors of the Constitution, what they want to do.
Okay. All right. So again, welcome to everyone, and thank you so much for joining in and still being here. Really appreciate it. So.
Mm-hmm.
I watched an assault on democracy take place in our parliament. I ought not to have been surprised because this government is always in a fight with the Constitution. Indeed, the tendency manifested itself from Andrew Holness was leader of the opposition when he sought to utilize pre-signed, undated letters of resignation to remove 2 of his senators. Of course, as you all know, he was the first prime minister to consider placing a chief justice on probation, thereby revealing that he does not understand how our parliamentary system is established and the critical decision to have the separation of powers embedded in our parliamentary procedure and in our constitution. And I could go on and on. The leader of the party has already referenced the states of emergency and the way in which it has been abused by the government who has chosen to use it as a crime-fighting tool. But yesterday, Section 96(1) of the Constitution, this supreme law, this Constitution which when we are sworn into Parliament, we all swear to uphold, That was not demonstrated in the parliament. You see, under section 96(1), the section which was amended yesterday, when the extension of the tenure of the DPP is being considered, the Governor General, on the recommendation of the Prime Minister, has to consult with the leader of the opposition. And it is after that consultation, which must be done before the DPP reaches the age of 60, after that consultation, the extension is granted. So historically, in 2020, the Director of Public Prosecutions turned 60, and quite appropriately, she applied for an extension. She applied for an extension of 5 years, and after the requisite consultation, an extension of 3 years was granted. Now, yesterday, the Minister of Justice, in a very scant address to the opening remark to the Parliament, explained to the country that this amendment was being brought to the Parliament because of an amendment to the Pensions Act of 2017. He tried to assume responsibility for this amendment, saying that it was intended really that the Ministry of Finance would do it, and seemed to have said that it was because of his diligence why he was bringing it to Parliament himself. But I say this: if you are the Minister of Justice, you have a greater responsibility than any other member of Parliament or member of cabinet to lead by example in the way that you do matters, the way that you bring these matters to the Parliament. The opposition was not consulted on this matter. The opposition was not notified except a few hours prior to the convening of Parliament. And in this way, the Minister of Justice and the government demonstrated a level of authoritarian arrogance, which we have come to see as a part of their modus operandi and a reflection of how they see their role as against the people of this country. More and more, you hear about mandatory sentencing, mandatory wills, mandatory DNA. And this government is determined to impose itself into every aspect of the life of these people. And that was manifested yesterday when they attempted to change the law to do a constitutional amendment without any consultation at all with the opposition. And let me tell you why it's so significant. The powers of the DPP are vast. The Director of Public Prosecutions can institute and undertake criminal proceedings against any person before any court other than a court-martial in respect of any offense against the law of Jamaica. The DPP can take over and continue any such criminal proceedings that may have been instituted by any other person or authority. And most significantly, the DPP can discontinue at any stage before judgment is delivered any such criminal proceedings instituted or undertaken by himself or any other person or authority. So these are the kinds of powers that a DPP has. And in the context, as the leader said, of events which we imagine are going to unfurl before the country, one has to wonder why the matter has been approached in this manner. You see, the Pensions Amendment Act was in 2017. The first application for an extension was in 2020. There was the opportunity to have implemented the requirements of the Pensions Act. And we could have engaged in a discussion, the opposition and the government, and we could have then dealt with the extension to bring it in line to what was happening with other public officers. That was not done. 2017 to 2023 is 6 years. There has been no discussion about this extension. The Constitutional Reform Committee was established in March 2023 and has been very active, meeting sometimes twice for the week, has been engaging persons, the citizenry, in a discussion on the road, hearing their views as to how the Constitution should be reformed, what sort of constitution they would like to see in Jamaica. This was never put before the Constitutional Committee. So then, it is reasonable for one to ask, what is it that would lead the government to take a decision that at the very last sitting of the Parliament, without any discussion with the opposition, without any consultation, without any discourse, without placing it before the Constitutional Reform Committee, why was it so urgent that it be done now? The Director of Public Prosecutions is expected to demit office on September 20, 2023, which is when the 3 years would come to an end. Is that why? Is this a specific action on the part of the government to ensure that the Director of Public Prosecution remains in place? And if so, what must the country interpret this as being? Because surely there must be competent attorneys in the office. Surely the assurance which was given in 2020 by the government that a succession plan would have been put in place, they must have kept their word. So what is the urgency? Why this matter has been brought to the Parliament at this stage and in this manner? Let me be clear. The opposition would have welcomed an opportunity to have discussed the matter with the government. We believe and we uphold the tenets of good governance. Our desire is to always ensure that the public retain and maintain a comfort and confidence in certain offices, significant and important offices in this country. And we would have liked to have participated in an analysis. Say, for example, we could have advanced the view that these offices should now have fixed terms, that is the way in which the world was moving. We could have said that, yes, there we have no objection. And imagine what the country would have seen if the government and the opposition had gone to the Parliament with a united view. You know, Minister Chuck said in an interview on which I was on this morning that if they want to agree, they agree, and who want to disagree, disagree. I am mortified that this is a view that he takes of our democracy. And it makes me wonder if this country is indeed in safe hands, or if the ship is being steered by those who have utter contempt for the people. Because when you dismiss the opposition like that, and you say they agree, they disagree, they disagree, what you're really telling the country is that their views do not count, that it does not matter how they perceive of things, because the government is going to do whatever it wants. And I have to ask those of you who are listening, is this what you want? Is this how you want to see the government function? Is it how you want to see your nation governed?
Okay. So we have heard that and voices from the opposition. But my ardent listeners, I honestly believe that our democracy is definitely under threat. And I am somewhat worried. I am going to go as far as to say something, but I just want to say it. So then, based on what we have been seeing Andrew Holness been doing, going against the constitutional norms, even though this is crazy what I'm going to say, I am wondering if we're going to even have a general election. I am wondering if, might be some, I am not a lawyer, so I'm wondering might be some legal lawyer could, explain to us as it relates to, to the fact that he has the majority. Can he just get up and just decided that, I have the majority and I am going to legislate, right, certain things, and, we may not even have a general election. I'm just throwing it out there because it's so plain that this prime minister, right, is going against the norms, going against constitutional norms. And then there is no authority to really stop him, really. Because remember, the PNP only have 14 sitting members in parliament. So as we speak, anything that he wants to pass, he can pass it. I'm just saying. Right? So let us hear as it relates to Delroy Chuck. Right? This is a man that has no sense of justice. Has no sense of justice. Right? So this is how Delroy Chuck, perceive the situation. Why is it important? And I mean, the world wants to know. Why is it important for this particular DPP, Paula Llewellyn, to have more extension? Why is it? To me, it seems as if Andrew wants someone there to guarantee his protection. That's what it looks like to me. Someone there to protect him. So Glenn Smith said he's not going to call an election until he changes the laws that thief must not go to prison. Lennox, well, might be right. Let us go into the chat and hear what some of the people are saying. I will say this country have no clue or intent to know what the Constitution is about. I agree with you. Mystic, the puppet DPP cannot survive this plan because she has already served her extension. The three-card tricks Duppy Chuck and his cronies are trying will not work. Exactly. Because this extension really doesn't count, really would not apply to this DPP. It would definitely apply as it relates to future DPP that coming in, not this DPP. But let me say it. I can tell you that they are going to find ways and means. People remember I said it. Remember I said it. Legally speaking, this DPP had given an extension and served out the extension already. Legally speaking. So this extension that they are talking about, 70 years to 70 years, right, should not be, as it relates to count for this DPP, which is Paula Llewellyn. He shouldn't be getting the benefit of that, right? That would be a future DPP that's stepping into the office. That would get that extension to 70 years, that they can serve until 70 years, right? But people, let me say this. This is Andrew Holness-led government. And I am saying that this government seems as if they want to end democracy and go full autocratic. This seems like we are facing a full dictatorship, to be honest. So then, how are they going to spin it? Because Andrew Holness-led government want this DPP to stay in office, right? What are the reasons that they are fighting so hard? It is not like Paula Llewellyn. Let us start, people. It is not like Paula Llewellyn as it relates to prosecutorial conviction rate, right? Has a good performance. She doesn't have a good performance where that is concerned, right? Most high-profile case in Jamaica, Paula Llewellyn lost them. Most of the high-profile cases. So then I am asking myself, on what basis and what grounds that Andrew Holness-led government would want to keep Paula? Since Paula, right, as it relates to being the head, right, as it relates to the DPP, and his performance record is not favorable as it relates to solving crime in Jamaica, particularly where high-profile cases are concerned. Most high-profile cases in Jamaica, right, based on stat, based on empirical data, Paula Llewellyn has lost them. So then I'm asking the question, since that sort of Paula Llewellyn bear that sort of poor performance, why is it so important? Why is it so important for Andrew Holness to hold on to someone where their performance record is showing that this person is a careless failure? I honestly don't understand it. What we know for sure is that Paula Llewellyn, right, most of the time is very and extremely reluctant to look in situation where Andrew Holness or any member of Andrew Holness government is concerned. We have seen plain evidence of that. So then this is showing me, right, that Andrew Holness' mission is to cripple our criminal justice institutions. To have Paula extended until she's 70 years of age. With that sort of failure, something is wrong. But here's a pattern as it relates to Andrew Holness' modus operandi, the history of behavior that I'm going to identify with Andrew Holness now. Andrew Holness, we're talking about modus operandi, history of behavior. Andrew Holness loves people or loves circle of corruptors. Let us go back to 2006 to 2009. Who was in Andrew Holness' inner circle? Rusal Reid. So let us talk about history now and dig in on the history and show you, right? And try to reflect and try to understand Andrew Holness. Rusal Reid was Andrew Holness' advisor. Right? Now, let us talk about Horace Chang, who came out on a WikiLeaks cable being identified as it relates to that allegation, let me say, to involve as alleged participating in drugs operation and gun runnings. What Andrew Holness did, Andrew Holness made this man the deputy prime minister. People looking up. I want you to understand. Andrew Holness made this man a deputy prime minister. Now, when you look on Horace Chang's record, you're going to see some similarities with Horace Chang's record as it relates to low performance and Paula Llewellyn, low performance. Andrew Holness hugged these people up, loved them. So Horace Chang, based on statistics, based on the yearly statistics coming from the Jamaica Constabulary Force, showing you, right, that Horace Chang is a failure within the Ministry of National Security. Crime has been escalating, and he has no crime plan more than using SOE, breaking the Constitution. Because those are not the reason to use SOE. Right? SOE is according to the Constitution, right? Used like when you have a war, country fighting a war. Right? Or you have some serious uprising in the country. Right? Then you bring out the SOE. But SOE cannot use to fight ordinary day-to-day policing. Right? That needs community policing to fight that. Community policing, not SOE. So then when you look at these situations as it relates to the failures, people who are failing miserably, that Andrew Holness hugged up. When you look at Warmington, I'm talking about Andrew Holness' inner circle. When you look at Warmington, a man who's a careless failure, a man who has been disrespectful to the core, Andrew Holness has never tried to discipline him. Andrew Holness has a nature based on what we are seeing of wrongdoing. He has a culture of that. The patterns are clear to see. That Andrew Holness appears to love corruption to the core. Now we're talking about benefits that we get for COVID fund. No accountability. US $30 million, no accountability. Cornwall Original cost overrun, no accountability. Now we have NAW, $10 billion, no accountability. And the list goes on and goes on and goes on and goes on. But here, what people need to understand that all of these atrocities, cost overrun, who is facing the burden? The taxpayers. All of this now goes back on the back of the taxpayers. Our pocket, we don't have no money already. And they are digging and scraping everything, every dime. When you look at the common Jamaican person, most of the persons who are working can't really save and can't really work to say, okay, I am saving a little money. It's more hand to mouth. Inflation, take it away because of the level of corruption into the country. The level of corruption that we are struggling with. We are making comparison with other countries in the Caribbean that don't have the resources like we have, right? But yet, these countries that have limited resources than us seems to be progressing much better than us. Then what is the problem, people? What is the problem? Let us speak. Let us speak. Barbados economy seems to be thriving than us. Trinidad and Tobago economy thriving than us. Bermuda, that hardly have any resources, seems to be thriving better than us. And the only two countries in the Caribbean basin where corruption rampant, which is Haiti and Jamaica, as a result of corruption, failing. Failing. So what is the problem? Corruption. Other countries who have limited resources, right, are progressing ahead of us. And the two countries that are failing with corruption, Haiti and Jamaica. So the problem is corruption. Delroy Henry, Mystic Sensation, the Westmoreland region of drugs. Man died and to escape. It was through the help of the USA Coast Guard why these drugs was caught. With the help of Jamaica police, all these matters done. Now the Cuban authority, people, and let me say this is what the Cuban authority is saying. That they try to work with the Jamaica authority as it relates to fighting drugs and gun trafficking. And what the Cuban authority is saying, that the Jamaican authority is not interested in fighting drugs and gun runnings. So the Cuban authority reported that to the United States. The Cuban authority did that. Right? Between the Cuban authority and Jamaican policing and the sea, right? No form of communication breakdown because they're not interested. They're participants as according to the Cuban authority. Cuban authority revealing this information. People, you can Google it. Google it and you see the information. The Cuban authority making utterance that the Jamaican authority doesn't interested in fighting these drugs and gun smuggling. And then you have Horace Chang came out the other day, right? Talking about they found guns and this and that and rare blah blah, right? It's a human disgrace. I want to know in which first world country, like United States or England, Canada, you name it, people, you name it, where the Minister of National Security, right, came out on a WikiLeaks cable and him still have him job without any investigation. You think that could have done? It could have not, it couldn't happen. And so when you see the height of corruption, the high level of corruption, you understand, it's deafening when it comes to Andrew Holness. Right? So then, let us show something about the hypocrite who claim that he is justice minister. I'm going to show you how hypocritical Delroy Chuck is. right? And right now it seems like Delroy Chuck is moving worse than Andrew Holness. You understand? Because Delroy Chuck is just as evil as Andrew Holness. So let us play the clip to show Delroy Chuck comment as it relates to justifying to having the DPP there and not trying to show the low performance of the DPP.
Okay. Again, happy Friday, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. Or the other one, okay, under this one, this one. It's under this one.
Yeah.
Yes, it's under this
Okay.
one.
Justice Minister Delroy Chuck has expressed disappointment at the leader of the opposition, Mark Golding, for raising concerns surrounding the government's decision to extend the retirement age for the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, from 60 to 65 years. Mr. Chuck said that the process, which was recommended from 2016 and passed in 2017, was only recently approved to allow the DPP's office to benefit from the increased retirement age. He says the DPP has exercised professionalism and integrity, and therefore Mr. Golding's comments were rather unfortunate.
Should impute any motive why this amendment was done so quickly. It has been on the cards from 2016, 2017. For the leader of the opposition in Parliament to impute that there are 6 parliamentarians who are being questioned from reports of the Integrity Commission, and the Director of Public Prosecution can overrule what the Director of Corruption Proceedings in the IC can do, is so unfair and unbecoming.
So Dwight Bingham, the man who admitted to killing
When you see the eyes of corruption, people, the Minister of Justice, is this a Minister of Justice or a Minister of Injustice? He doesn't expect that Mark Golding should have come out and oppose it. Can you imagine, people? Can you imagine? I'm talking about the DPP high level of integrity. Let us talk about high level of integrity as according to Injustice Delroy Chuck. Injustice Delroy Chuck. Now, the DPP made a comment about SSL. Delroy Chuck, may I ask you, and want you answer me. Are the DPP in there Jamaica? The DPP in there Jamaica? So hold on. The DPP no here when time Jean and Pantan, right? Speak about Ukraine advise Jean and Pantan. And so then we are if the Commissioner of Police failed to instruct, right? And the DPP realized that a crime, the DPP can suggest or use her power of influence. But then show me which part the DPP full of that integrity that you have spoken about. Did the DPP have any input as it relates to the Integrity Commission findings, and where the Integrity Commission send the case file to the corruption prosecutor, and the corruption prosecutor is talking about here, the amount of years that pass, and that is only the reason why she's not pursuing it. But at the same time, right, she's admitting that there's a case there. So what did the DPP done? Did the DPP participate in that, take over that? Eh? Delroy Chuck, let me tell you something. Right? You're just in bed with the corruption. And so then, Mark Golding shouldn't talk about the 6th member of Parliament who is now at the concern of the Integrity Commission investigation. My goal is to silent. My goal is to silent. You know, we talk about it. So then, let me ask you something, Del Racho. This is what you ask the Jamaican populace to vote for you, particularly you. And this is how you're representing the Jamaican people. This is how you are representing the Jamaican people. You're forcing on because you believe that the DPP should stay on. Where the Jamaican people have been suffering for the amount of criminals in high-profile case that the DPP is unable to solve. Some of these men, when them get out of the prison system, they go and execute the witnesses. And you are saying to Jamaica, Del Racho, let me talk to you, Del Racho. You are saying that the people should accept this because the DPP has integrity? Does that, hold on, what happened to, what sort of senses that you have? What sort of sense of justice that you have? When you look and see so many high-profile cases that the DPP had lost, so many. One of which recently, 52 scammers. 52 scammers. So you are going to tell me now, here you have a DPP and prosecutors. Are they working in collaboration with the police because before they put this case to proceed any further with the case, are they not vetting the case? Are they not vetting the police report? Are they not vetting the evidence that put before them? So then when they put a case file in front of the judge, I would want to believe that the prosecutors themselves had vetted the case and said, okay, this can proceed. And so then the entire system failed. Police investigation poorly done. And prosecutors who are vetting these cases are also missing important data that's supposed to be added to those cases. So all of this now, what we have, Jamaican people suffer at the hands of an incompetent DPP. Let us talk how the FBI done things. Comparing them in terms of the FBI. Majority of the cases that the FBI had done, what we are looking at as related to the statistics is a 97% conviction rate. 97% conviction rate. Because they make sure that they dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's. So they know, all right, a police go on a crime scene. What is the first thing that the police doing when they go up on a crime scene, when they're talking about number 3, someone being killed? As it relates to textbook procedures, the first thing the police cordon off the area to make sure that every evidence in that particular area being protected. Right? The second thing that the police is going to do for persons who may have witnessed, collect all the witness, photograph all the evidence within that crime scene. So then when they tell me that the police are doing these procedures, dotting all the I's, crossing all the T's, right? Our witness protection program in Jamaica is a sham because these people are not being protected properly. Right? The accused sometimes get bail, get out. And number 3, the witness and all these things. And then now you know The justice minister, hey, look here, me tell you, you know, me show you the history. Who Andrew Holness like around him as it relates to his inner circles. So then, people, Delroy Chuck is in Andrew Holness' inner circle. And so then, would you believe that Delroy Chuck would be honest? No. All the people in Andrew Holness' inner circle, they are corrupted. Corrupted. Evidence of that. They are corrupted to the core. And so then when they have that, we have institutions being failing. So we don't have a strong criminal justice system to protect the people. Remember, you know, one of the first responsibilities of the Prime Minister is to make sure that, to try to ensure that the citizens are protected. We fail miserably from that. Right? Arthur Phillips, the Chief Justice, once said that some of these detectives needs to be retrained. No, just look at it. Just look at it. And here is Delroy Chuck coming out. But let me show you another thing now. To show you the hypocrisy of Delroy Chuck. Right? Now, look at Delroy Chuck now. I am going to show you a clip. Look at this clip with Delroy Chuck talking about code of ethics. Code of conduct. Sorry. Right? Look at Delroy Chuck now, who is asking a set of people, right, to sign off on code of conduct. Look at Delroy Chuck. Remember, play it, I'm going to see it. Play it. Look at the hypocrite.
Welcome back to Primetime News and a special welcome to folks on OneSpotMedia.com. Up first, Justice Minister Delroy Chuck has suggested that a code of conduct be established for real estate developers as a solution to concerns about poor practices in the industry. Addressing the Jamaica Urban Developers Association Real Estate Forum on Thursday, he said there should be some standards that judge developers and hold them responsible. Sandy Williams has the details.
Alternatively, the municipal corporations could require a no objection letter from the Member of Parliament and or the councillors before providing any letter or approval authorizing the issuing of splinter titles. Such no objection letters should not be unduly withheld and could be overridden by the city engineer in appropriate cases to avoid any perception or reality of corruption. However, when things go wrong and roads and communities are destroyed and severely disrepaired, it is the councils and the MPs who are called upon to fix them and to do so promptly.
No, he added that there should also be prompt, continuous repairs to roads.
People, this is the level of hypocrisy what we talk about. This is the level of garbage what we talk about. So, I'm going to ask Delroy Chuck a question. Mr. Chuck, like how you're advising those people to sign a code of conduct, which I do believe that they should, did you, Delroy Chuck, did you or any other members of Parliament, related to GLP members of Parliament, has any one of you signed the code of conduct? More, you answer me in the right. You are pressuring an organization to sign the code of conduct. And I'm accusing the people in the area. So me they ask you now, Delroy Chuck, because since you believe in that principle, have you signed the code of conduct as it relates to the Integrity Commission? Have you signed the code of conduct? As any member within the Jamaica Labour Party, member of parliament, has anyone signed the code of conduct? This is what I am showing you, Jamaica. Right? And you are going to tell me now that some people not see this? I want to still want to vote for the JLP. I want to still want to vote for the JLP. A bad man is them government them are running. And dictatorship. Because that's what it boils down to. Right? Them not sign nothing. But they are demanding other people to sign the code of conduct. So when we look on the level of corruption, it is such a disgrace. Plain in front of our eyes. Plain in front of our eyes. So that, my people, is the end of tonight's program where my segment is concerned. And once again, I just want to say thank you very much for passing through. Really appreciate that. But again, let me appeal to the 67% of persons who didn't vote, that you have seen the level of corruption, right? The comparison that you have made and show you, right? The level of corruption in front of our eyes. The level of suffrage that is going on in Jamaica, right? Where people now have to struggle, a lot of Jamaicans have to struggle to even find a night meal. And that is the reality of the situation. We have many places in Jamaica today don't even have potted water. That is the reality of the situation. And then here you have JLP coming out promising, because it is the campaign season, because he believes that he can turn it up whenever he wants to turn it up, and he can turn it down whenever he wants to turn it down. But most importantly, what he's saying to us, he's not accountable to us. Right? And so then, when it comes to transparency, right, there's no transparency from this government. When it comes to checks and balance, nothing from this government. The government, right, does anything, and then the people don't need to be aware. And so then the Integrity Commission being muzzled. So you, at the end of the day, my fellow Jamaicans, right, have to decide, where do you want to take the country? You have to look on yourself and realize that the country is in your hand based on the decision that you are going to make. And if you see Jamaica as the future where it is going to benefit your children, then I do believe that you have to make the right choice. Where I'm saying tonight that a choice that sticks with Mark Golding is definitely the right choice, with no hesitation. And so then we can't, when we look at the situation of what is facing us, we are going to say that we are not going to participate, which is going to result in the formula of having JLP continue their mayhem in our lives. the many atrocities that this government. You have seen a prime minister who cannot explain his wealth, who can't explain his wealth, who tried very much to depreciate his worth. But we have seen evidence, right, as it relates to investigation that proved to the contrary of what he reported to the Integrity Commission. So for some Jamaican, I don't know if it's okay for you because might be, you know, you like the corruption and then you don't see it as anything, although it is eating your pocket, right? It is eating your pocket. And then it threatens your sovereignty. I will always repeat, we have seen our beachland, the prime lands, being given to the elites. And every time I come, I preach that. So just look around you, people. Look around you and see what is happening. So then we know, this is what I'm going to leave you with. We know what they tried to attempt is not plausible by law to have the DPP extended as it relates to Paula Llewellyn. It is not plausible by law. But let us look and see where this government is going to take this as it relates to Paula Llewellyn. Because it has to be a reason for this government wanted Paula Llewellyn to stay on. There has to be a reason, which is not based on Paula Llewellyn performance. It is not. So if it doesn't based on Paula Llewellyn performance and empirical data is showing you that Paula Llewellyn fails the office as it relates to performance, as it relates to that prosecutorial victory, it is showing you that 80% of Paula Llewellyn high-profile case has been lost. But yet, the government, I can't see that. Normally, if you're at an ordinary working place, people, I want you to think people, if you're at an ordinary working place and you're not performing, more likely that your boss is going to fire you. It's natural to understand that. That if you're not performing at your workplace, more likely the boss is going to call, the HR is going to call you and, you know, speak pertaining to that and tell you that, you know, you and the company have to part ways. Mm-hmm. But we have seen the Minister of National Security, a careless failure. And Joe Wellness love him like cooked food because he's failing. He's failing. Mm-hmm. We have seen the Commissioner of Police, another careless failure. And Joe Wellness love him like cooked food. We have seen the Minister of Justice, no have no sense of justice. And Joe Wellness love him like cooked food. We have seen the DPP, nickname Nasty, can't see, I don't want to see, and Joe Wellness love her like cooked food. So then, my people, this is what we want. This is what we want. Is this we want to continue where we have been pressured and where they decided to live? You know, people, let me show you this. My wife and I am talking this to show you the significance of what happened as it relates to Andrew Holness and his big house. My wife and I, we are building our home, which 5 rooms and 4 bathrooms. And we have been doing that from 2010. And only I know we can't finish. People, this is not joking. And if you compare my salary and my wife's salary, right? We are getting more pay than the Prime Minister. And so then when you look at that, we can't finish. Right? As it relates to our home. I mean, completely finished. But the Prime Minister built 17 rooms, how much bathroom? And finish it in 3 years. Which me and my wife pay is more than the Prime Minister. So if we can't do it, and we have built a smaller house, how the Prime Minister finished 17 bedroom, how much bathroom, how much this, how much that, in a 3 year? And the Prime Minister never have no money before. I want to sit down people, I want to sit down and accept that. I want to sit and accept that. For the love of Jamaica people, we could partially establish our salary to be audited to show you that we couldn't do it. And the Prime Minister built 17 rooms, how much bathroom, and in 2012, while him at that, his wife, they deal with an apartment home that now value $800 million. I want to talk to me, people. Talk to me. But you know, someone who knows who's stubborn and still talk about GLP and fire burn for PNP and PNP now did this because Mark Saab on go on with that. You understand? Because I not talk to you no more longer. Because one I say one just love the corruption. And I basically that one I say. Basically that one I say. One love the corruption. So who love the corruption, go on with it. Who love the corruption, go on with it. So right now, this government is a scammer government. I mean, I'll take my mouth and say it. So let me say. So then we see what is going on. The blatant corruption. The blatant corruption. And so then what? Mark Golden has according to Delroy Chuck not to speak out on these corruptions. Not to speak out on the government shortfalls. Not to speak out on the government flaws. And this man is a minister of justice. This man is a minister of justice. You, Delroy Chuck, down a hell don't have no place for you. Right? Not even Satan don't want you down a hell. But you're minister of justice. You should shame on yourself. So, once again, my ardent listeners, thank you for passing through. Let us read through the chat and see if we have any persons that I need to answer to. And then we hand over the program to wife. Good night. Great show. How can people vote for a government like this in the St. Anne's Bay Hospital? Buckets are lined up in the bathroom for sick patient to use flush the toilet. What a shame. People, well, put up on that, honey. Put up on that because the people don't need to see. The people don't need to see this. You hear, see, there it is, editing with the siblings. Look at that. She observing that. Can you imagine? And this is the government. And now, that is what is happening. That is what is happening. That is what is happening in the St. Anne's Hospital. And you hear the Prime Minister promising how much $1 billion road project and all of that. What I'm going to promise and all of that. What am I going to do? Desmond Mackenzie start to promise all I need to promise. Meanwhile, sewage, raw sewage, the wash with downtown Kingston. Meanwhile, raw sewage are wash with downtown Kingston. Meanwhile, Prime Minister they promised all of them big project there. So what they go on in St. Anne's Hospital. Bucket are lined up in the bathroom for sick patients to use. Flush the toilet. What a shame. What do look, people? And I'm here say, see that? Right? And this is the government that we want to continue. This government. Move on. The government is on life support and Paula is one of their doctors. That's not good. That's not good. Well, that's no lie, hardly. Trust me. Can you imagine? The government is on life support and Paula is one of their doctors. Oh my God. I'm telling you. Let us see what. All right. The young voters got played with his Clark, top plays, and social media link-ups. I am telling you. But that can't work again, you know. That can't work again. Him Clark's bottom drop off. I'm telling you. That can't work again around us up. Gilmore Jarrett. Everybody, bless up Gilmore. Everybody corrupt Ron Andrew. Commissioner, head of military, member of parliament, and everyone in his surrounding. Right now, we don't trust not even pastor. Trust me, you know what? Honestly, you know what Andrew wants pastor pray for me. I'm dead serious. How does this relate to what happened to the Prime Minister at the airport? Some sort of punishment for lack of action. Look here. For news media to spin what the Prime Minister claiming that there is some error. There can't be an error. It is, as a matter of fact, since you spoke about that, let me show you something why it cannot be an error, right? Because the punishment start and more to come. Let me say that more to come. The punishment start and more to come. So let me show you something why it cannot be an error. Now we have something with the passenger manifesto. So if they're talking about some form of error that happened and where the Prime Minister took it's foolishness. So put up the passenger manifesto there. Okay. So I'm going to share something with the public why it couldn't be an error. Right? Now, this is the passenger manifesto. Read it on it.
Okay, a passenger manifesto should include the full name of each passenger, passport number of each passenger if required for travel, and name and telephone number of a contact for each passenger. Accompanying cargo manifest provided by that Hold on. I thought that shall be filed in the unit of all the departures. So passenger manifesto also include all approved flights filed as a representative flight plan shall be filed at the airport service unit after every departure of flight, either personal or via facsimile. So basically, the manifesto lists all the passengers that are on the plane, and it would say their status, whether they're diplomats or whatever. So
I think so. Yeah. So basically, as it relates to the passenger manifesto, that would normally update it into the system. So the Prime Minister traveling on what jet, blah, blah, seat and everything would have been in the system, you understand, and preparation would have put in place prior to even his arrival. They know, right? Because that is going to update it, you understand, and synchronize in the system, right? Where the airport that he's going to land would have gotten that information, everything would have synced into the system. So there's no way. So he definitely got punishment as it relates to the passenger manifesto. There's no way an error could have made. All right, so let us
it's not the first time he's going.
Come on.
Okay.
What is going to happen this school term? Most of the teachers are migrating. Every parent should stand in solidarity with the teacher. Oh my goodness. Anything? No, this a bangarang, you know. Anything? This a bangarang. Because I played, right? I showed some information, right? Some time ago, where the teachers are leaving like drones and so many vacancies for all these schools. So many vacancies. So then, this is another problem, you know. So when September roll out, right? And if they don't fix the system by now in September, what is going to happen? So this is a very serious problem pending that is going to compound the situation. So then to show you unduly governance, right? All right. I rather a person of integrity that is tough than a criminal that is rough, tough, and wicked. Hardly 100% agree with that. 100% agree with that. I think, you know, the thing is so silly. It reached a point which part I'm just totally confused as to why people are talking about Mark Golding Saab. I never know that Mark Golding Saab is significant in running the country and passing policies that govern the country properly. I don't understand that. I never know say Andrew Holness. I never know say Mark Golding have to go in a parliament and put up himself and rough up himself to pass legislations. What is that softness about? This is just ludicrous. If you don't vote, you are still making a choice of inaction that allows corruption to continue in our country. Very good point, Georgia. Very good point, and that is what we are talking about. Maureen Vassell, nothing honorable about Donkey Man. Maureen, big up yourself. Big up yourself, Sister Maureen. Nothing honorable about Donkey Man and Donkey Kong. Remember me tell you. Missing sensation, level of corruption and drug trafficking that have taken place in Jamaica under the leadership of Kanjo and his cronies is worse than the pandemic that passed over Jamaica. I did agree with you there. Right? Glennox Cement. Okay, we go through that already? Okay. So we're good.
Yeah.
Everybody being answered? You don't want to leave anyone out. Okay. You have no right to free speech if you're not on the side of this wicked system. Exactly. Exactly, Uriel. Right? Seems like, there's a level of censorship if you speak against the government, and the whole thing is just toxic. The truth be told, this government is really a toxic government. The people that want to see them gone. Like, trust me. Mystic, Jamaica is at the crossroad. The DPP created her own world history. She's the first DPP in the world history to charge a dead. Hey, what? Hey, think about that. Delra. Me not even remember that. This is a thing now as it relates to Delra Chuck again talking about how this DPP has integrity. The very same DPP that themselves have integrity want charge a dead man. You understand me? I say, want to charge a dead man. So hold on. So how the dead man is going to appear in court? That's what I want to find out. If you charge this dead man, how the dead man is going to appear in court? This is nonsense. This is madness. And this is the DP. No. But Papa Jesus, this is crazy. The DPP charge a dead man. That is Kevin Smith, no, Kevin Smith, the matter about. Kevin Smith, that is Kevin Smith. The DPP charge a dead man. Can you imagine? And this is the DPP, according to Delroy Chuck, who is the justice. This is a joke. Who is Justice Minister of Jamaica? Right? But the whole thing is just a mess. It's just a mess. When my case call the election. That's right, Chuck. Andrew Warnes, my case call the election. Please. Yeah, go ahead. All right, so that is it. I will be handing over for Jeopardy, where my wife is concerned. Okay, Maureen. Remember, Trex 5 want to charge Kevin Smith. Yes, Maureen. The DPP, I have never heard of anything like that in the history of the globe. Where a DPP want to charge a dead person. So then, how the DPP? So how the, hold on. What I want to know, how the dead man is going to answer to the charges. Is the dead going to plead guilty or not guilty? This is a joke. Is the dead man going to plead guilty or not guilty? This is the DPP that Chuck, Delroy Chuck, claimed that the DPP has. Boy, I'm telling you, this is a joke, people. This is a joke. The government need to go on and leave Jamaican people alone. You understand? All of them need to resign. But they don't have no heart. Right? They don't have no heart. They might wait for the election. They should have just leave and go on. But we can't tell Andrew when he said. No worry, Andrew. You see, everything, every law that you create now, when Mark Golden go in, and people, let me tell you this. We want to give the PNP such a large majority win, a landslide victory. That means anything that they want to pass and undo as it relates to what this corrupted government done, they don't have no obstacle in doing it. Right? But roll back some of what this corrupted government done and loose the chain from of the Integrity Commission and open investigation in SSL. Mark Golden had promised that he's going to do that. And we are going to hold him, you understand, for him to do that. The reopening investigation, right? And, when the PNP going in, we're going to find out all bangs are failing. The problem is, why you see Andrew is doing all of that and want Paula Llewellyn stay on Because part of the by law, constitutionally speaking, right? Can't get an next extension, you know. Constitutionally speaking, you know. Can't get an next extension. So I want to see how Andrew Holness is going to get it done. I want to see that. So then, all of the derricks them where you want to set up to secure you. All of the little derricks them where you set up. I'm sorry for you, because let me tell you something. So when you come out, particularly local government, right in that up, right in a local government, that's up, we are audit that. We the audit that. And who if you go prison, go prison. We the audit that. Right? And investigation. SSL. Don't worry yourself. Don't worry yourself. Don't worry yourself, Andrew. All the derricks where you're going with and going with. When we put Mark in there, right? And auditors, they run through the local government where they are going to see. So don't worry yourself. Don't worry yourself, my boss. Don't worry yourself. Right? Don't worry yourself. So, all right, that is it for me, wifey. Your tune.
Okay, right. Thank you so much for that insightful discussion as usual. Really appreciate the amount of work and effort that you put into preparing your discussion to enlighten everyone, including myself, because you know I'm not so politically inclined, I'm more medically inclined, so I'm learning a lot. Oh, what Arthur was saying, anybody know where is the Attorney General? Man silent like a lamb.
Man silent like a lamb, Arthur.
Okay. All right. So Truck Life is saying, wonderful job as always, Mr. Byron. Always good to hear you speak. Glad you guys came on last week, Saturday, because you had a lot to say. Great job with the clips as always, Miss Anne. Thank you so much.
All right.
Truck Life. Really appreciate your continued support. Really appreciate everyone who's here. We know that you could have been doing other things on a Friday and you chose to be with us. So we are.
Teacher P, big up yourself, Teacher P. We just have to Teacher P there.
Teacher P is here.
Big up yourself, Teacher P.
Happy Friday, Teacher P. Thank you so much for joining in. Arlene, welcome again. Big up.
Hi, Arlene, big up yourself.
Always here. All right, so we are going to go into Jeopardy. Let me just get the template. And remember, we are playing for credit. Person with the most points gets $1,000 credit, digital or flow, and then we have 4 runners up of $500 each, digital or flow. And the question is in the form of a statement. You're going to answer in the form of a question, what is? And then the answer, if it's the name of a person, then you answer who is. Oh, that's not the one. You answer who is. It's the name of if it's a place or a thing, then you answer what is and then give the answer. The person with the most points wins. One sec, guys. Person with the most points win, and then we have the 4 runners up. Okay. Just keep going to that one. One sec, guys. Let me just try to figure out what's going on with this. Okay, go to this way. Just keep bringing it back to that single one. Okay. Okay, here we go. All right, so I am going to go ahead and share the template. All right, so these are the categories that we have for tonight. Let me just take away that. Arthur saying you should do a show on the health system and let Uncle Baron sit in your chair one Friday.
Yes.
Okay. Program first on the TV. Okay. All right. So tonight's categories are judiciary, executive, definitions, and it has to do with the governance, legislature, and government. So this is all civic stuff. So we're going to start with someone throwing out a category and a question, how many points they want for that category, and then we're going to start that way. Whoever answers the question correctly will choose the next category and for how many points and so forth and so on until the board is empty. All right, so let's go. What Chocolate said, these categories look hard. No man, them not hard. Choose a category and for how many points. It's another part of the extended learning. All right, he's saying definition for 100. This term refers to an agency or body with authority to control and direct the affairs of a country. So this term refers to an agency or body with authority to control and direct the affairs of a country. Okay. Let's see. Teacher, please the answer for both of us. Chocolate. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. So let me just reveal the answer, and it is what is government. So it's an agency or body with authority to control and direct the affairs of a country. That's the government, and that is for 100 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response.
Who is the first man on the board?
Let's see. So first on the board is Truck Life for 100 points. Then Tiffany. Verona, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, Truck Life is saying definition for 200, so it's continuing with definition. This is an island or state that is headed by a monarch, which is a king or queen. This is an island or state that is headed by a monarch or which is a king or queen. Okay, let me just go back here. All right, continue. Let me see what you guys come up with. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. Happy Friday, Empress. Thank you so much for joining in. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Blessings, Empress.
All right, so I see what I am looking for. A constitution is in front of it, but it is a monarchy. What is a constitutional monarchy? Right, and that is for 200 points. So that is Empress running on the board with 200 points.
Empress, get that?
Mm-hmm. So Empress, choose the next category and for how many points?
So the score as it is. Truck Life on 100 points, Empress on 200 points.
Oh, Empress. Choose the next category. Oops. Empress awarded category at Tranny. Oh my goodness. Okay. Executive for 100. Okay. Executive again. This person, and I need their title, heads the executive arm of government. This person, if their title, heads the executive arm of government. You know, it's all you do. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. I'm not going to delay once I see the answer. And it is, who is the Prime Minister? So the Prime Minister heads the executive arm of government. I wonder, you know, it's Oh, you're learning. All right. Let's see who first came in with the correct response. I'm just going to refresh. So first on the board with the correct response is Ricardo for 100 points.
Ricardo there.
Then Empress, so she put the name. I wanted the title. The Arthur also came in with the 100. The Truck Life. What? Then watch myself. What is kiss me teeth? Brother. Instead, what is? Hold on. Instead, what is? So, hold on, scrap that.
And Ricardo get it?
And Ricardo and say, what is?
You should say, who
Stay
is?
honest. Yes, who is? So, Arthur is the person who got it for 200 points.
Well,
for 100.
For 100
for
points.
100 points, sorry.
Arthur on the board.
Confused myself. So, Arthur, you are on the board.
For 100 points.
Justice. Yes, Arthur got it. I saw that. So Arthur, choose a category and for how many points?
Arthur used to say, Ricky, want to take away your score.
So I would then be me feel right and you're supposed to write Prime Minister, not the name. I put in bracket. I need the title. The person which is Prime Minister. Ricardo don't call me here. Say judiciary for 200. All right, let's see what's under that. This person finds you guilty or not guilty in the court of law. This person finds you guilty or not guilty in the court of law. Everybody run out on this one.
Run out, spin out,
skip out, roll out, don't crawl out. Oh, Monday is Empress' birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Empress.
Empress, and wishing you many, many more happy birthdays to come. Hope you will enjoy your very special Earth Strong Day. Everybody send out happy birthday to Empress. Her birthday is gonna be on Monday.
All right.
All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. Let me make sure that it is written properly. Okay, before I open. Okay, who is a judge? So a judge finds you guilty or not guilty in the court of law, and that is for 200 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. You're welcome, Empress. Oops, let me just... Ricardo, go back and put what is again? Truck Life for 200 points. So it's a judge, then Ricardo, Empress, Verona. Did you say you're tired tonight, Ricardo? Okay. All right. So Truck Life, choose the next category and for how many points? Okay, same definition for 300. Arthur is saying, Mystic, not the jury find you guilty. But if
no, it all depends. You have case that try with jury, and you have case that the judge deals with that.
Okay. All right. So I guess it depends on the nature of the case.
Yeah.
But even so, the jury still handle for whatever their decision over it.
In certain cases that required a jury trial. We call it a jury trial. Right? But you have cases that the judge tried it.
You're not going to casino tomorrow. Win big for all of us, Ricardo. All right, Truck Life is saying definitions for 300. Let's see. Definitions for 300. This is the place where government officials meet and run the affairs of the country. This is the place where I did do it already when I came in. So man, we won't need a lot. This is the place where government officials meet and run the affairs of the country. Empress of the White House. This is the place where. All right, okay, I see the answer that I'm looking for. I was going to give a clue because one person dubbed it Henry Morgan House. If somebody watching the program. All right, so I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is, what is the parliament? So this is the place where government officials meet to run the affairs of the country, and that is for 300 points. So that is done in parliament. So that is for 300 points. So let's see, let me just refresh who first came in with the correct response. Oops. First on the board with the correct response is Truck Life, who said that these look hard tonight.
How much for that?
300. Then
so Truck Life is burning up the board.
Ricardo, 1 second. Ricardo, then Arthur, then Empress. Ricardo said, oh, what kind of wickedness this? And who choose them category after me don't know nothing about Jamaica. Me just bad. That's why you're going to be learning. I think I give the score. You want to give the score?
Okay. So the score as it is, Arthur on 100 points, Ricardo 100 points, Empress 200 points, Truck Life 600 points.
Okay, Truck Life says definition for 400. I'm just going to open up this. A body of laws by which a country is governed, and it's a double point answer under definition. So a body of laws by which a country is governed, and it's a double point answer. Give me a few minutes, guys.
Okay, of course, I've seen the answer there. Since I know the stuff, you know, when okay, the answer is there, so my wife will come and search that phone to see who is the first person to answer. All right. All right. Okay, she's coming, folks.
I'm coming. Oy. All right, so sorry about that, guys. All right, so let's see if, okay, I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is what is constitution. So a body of laws by which a country is governed is called a constitution, and it's a double point answer, so it's going to be 800 points. All right, so let's see who first came in with the correct response. Okay, go back down a bit. Hold on. Ricardo said when him reach 100 points. Well, Ricardo didn't have the 100 points. It was to be given to all.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So, first on the board with the correct response is Empress.
This is the -1.
For Empress is 800 points. Then
The Empress?
Arthur, yeah, then Arthur also came in with the correct response. Ricardo. Okay.
Okay, so the score as it is, Arthur on 100 points, Ricardo -100, Empress 1,000 points, and Chuck Live 600 points.
Okay, Daniel is in the building again. Welcome again, Daniel.
Big up yourself, Daniel.
Okay, Teacher P saying welcome back on. Teacher P. All right, so Empress, choose the next category and for how many points? Just Baron, don't call me name. Empress, say you love what about Ricky? All right, let me see if she chose. Tara, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. She's saying blessings everyone.
Oh, Tara, bless yourself.
Yeah, Ricardo of -100. Okay, so Empress is saying definition, so she's finishing up definition. This is the science and art of government. This is the science and art of government. One word. This is the science and art of government. All right, I see what answer that I'm looking for. Verona, you have to put one, not both. You can't put what and who. You have to put either who or what. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is what is politics. So politics. And that is for 500 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct answer. And political science would be correct too, yeah. So first on the board with the correct response, because it's the same as political science, is Truck Life.
Okay.
And that is for 500
500
points.
points?
Yes. Then Empress, Ricardo. I don't know.
All right. So the score.
Tiffany also put political science.
So the score as it is, Otto on 100 points and Ricardo now going away, minus 100 points. And Empress, 1,000 points. Truck Life, 1,100 points.
Okay, so Truck Life, choose the next category and for how many points? Okay, Judiciary for 100. A branch of this court is located in all 14 parishes of Jamaica. A branch of this court is located in all 14 parishes of Jamaica. Which court does every parish have one of? Every parish of one of these court.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Is this the same as me?
Yeah.
Both of them is
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
same thing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. So let's reveal the answer. It is the resident magistrate court or the parish court. It's the same thing. So resident magistrate court
or the parish
or parish court. Why am I getting tongue-tied? So if you put the parish court, you're still correct. All right, and that is for 100 points. So resident magistrate court. Let's see who first came in with the correct response. Ricardo, for 100 points, you can take off the minus from it. Plus them up. Then then Empress, and then Arthur actually put the resident magistrate court.
So the score as it is, Arthur on 100 points, Ricardo on 100 points, Empress 1,000 points, Short Life 1,100 points.
Okay, all right. So Ricardo, choose the next category and for how many points? Okay, Truck Life, choose the next. No, Ricardo, choose the next category and for how many points? Government for 300. All right. This person represents the Queen in Jamaica. Run out, roll out, skip out, dance out, drop out. On this one. So this person represents the Queen in Jamaica.
Mr. Get money and I don't know.
Of course, the man cut ribbon.
Oh, yeah.
I'm cut ribbon and open ceremonies. I wonder how long you have to go to school for learning to do that. What level of education you have to have.
There's still Andrew and say love and corruption.
Okay. I see the answer that I am looking for. Governor General Miller. That's my last name, Miller. Patrick Allen. Sorry, Mr. Miller. Patrick Allen. Sorry, didn't hear that. This person represents the Queen in Jamaica, and it's the Governor General, or his name is Patrick Allen. All right, and that is for 300 points. I didn't realize
We'll
the
get
name
that.
that I'm looking for.
So who got it?
Hold on, let me go back. All right, so I'm gonna take the name or Governor General because I should have been specific to say names. All right, so Ricardo, 300 points. Then Truck Life, Empress, Tiffany, Empress again, Arthur, and Ricardo went and put his name, was Patrick Allen, and Ricardo. So everybody got that one. All right, so Ricardo, choose the next category and for how many points? Choose the next category and for how many points? Okay, government for 400. And now you're going to give me the names of the persons. She is the only female prime minister of Jamaica. Run out, skip out, roll out, jump out. So she's the only female prime minister of Jamaica. And that is for 400 points. And I see the answer that I am looking for. I'm not going to delay because everybody know this one. Who is Portia Simpson Miller? So Portia Simpson Miller is the only female prime minister of Jamaica. All right, let's see who first came out with the correct response. Okay, Ricardo. So that's 400 points. So Ricardo with 400 points.
Ricardo with 400 points?
Yeah. So we can put down your phone, please. Then Truck Life, Danielle, Verona. Actually, the right style.
All right. So
then, sorry, Truck Life, Empress, Arthur, and yeah.
So the score as it is, Arthur on 100 points, Ricardo 800 points, Empress 1,000 points, Truck Life in the lead 1,100 points.
All right, so Ricardo needs to choose the next category, but he must say, give me a sec there. Come, Ricardo, you need to hurry up.
You want a sec, Ricardo?
Okay, welcome to everyone over on Facebook. Happy Friday. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in as well. Really appreciate each and every one. Sure. Okay, come, Ricardo. Time is of the essence. I wonder if I keep seeing me now. Ricardo, legislature for 100. These persons make up the upper and lower houses of parliament. So these persons make up the upper and lower houses of parliament, their collective names. These persons make up the upper and lower houses of parliament. What do you call them collectively?
Oh.
Yeah, you have the senators, you have the MPs, but what do you call them collectively? Chocolate said thieves.
Speaking to the current government, Chocolate. That is correct. That is correct. We call him Chocolate thief. Hey, we should have get Chocolate something on a point stand. Chocolate deserve a point.
Oh my goodness. I don't see that.
Chocolate call him thief. Collectively. They wanna bust the place. We're not lying.
It should be said double his points.
Yes, teacher P. His points need to be doubled.
All right, so 200. All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for, and or the legislators. So I thought they're collectively called legislators, and that is for 100 points. All right, let's see who first came in with the correct answer.
Who come in with that? Because if I Chuck Live win this, I'll get Chuck Live 200.
Let's say word thieves.
The one that's tough.
Oh my God. Empress. So 100 points for Empress with legislators. All right, so Empress, choose the next category and for how many points?
All right.
All right, so that went to Chocolate me no wrong. You cause me no look like them either. Oh, me no wrong you, cause me not okay. All right, so let's see. She's saying government for 200. This person is the leader of the opposition. Name of the person. Everybody run out, skip out, roll out, jump out, pupa, lick out.
That's the person everybody can vote for.
Yeah, I need the name of the person, the name of the opposition leader.
Yeah, the name of the person everybody can vote for. That everyone is to vote for.
Welcome, Isaac's family. Happy Friday. Thank you so much
Bless
for
up
joining.
Isaac family. Isaac family in the house.
Okay. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. And it is who is Mark Golding, and that is for 200 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Let me just refresh. So who is Mark Golding? First on the board with the correct response is Truck.
All right,
and that is for 200 points. Ricardo has who is Mark Golden. Was it a typo? If you talk up fast.
Okay, so the score as it is, Arthur on 100 points. Ricardo, 800 points. Empress, 1,100 points. And Chuck Life, 1,300 points.
Okay, so everybody came out with the correct answer, so I don't have to read it out. It's me first, you know. Hold on, love. Ricardo want justice. He had Golden, Mark Golden. Maybe it was a typo. It was a typo.
Okay.
So Ricardo, 200 points.
So my minus is 200.
Yeah, might just add whatever else comes.
Minus 200.
Sorry, Truck Life, but Ricardo, taken to the streets for justice. So it's a typo.
You put the 200 pound Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I told him to talk fast, you know. And Arthur said, man just took a 100.
All right. So the score, Arthur, 100 points. Ricardo, 1,000 points. Empress, 1,100 points. And Truck Life, 1,100 points.
Ooh,
So both of them tied.
Alright, so, alright, Ricardo, you know, if you go back to go Black Road or something like that, you know, when you block the road, just demonstrate peacefully at the side of the road. Make points. All right, so Ricardo, choose the next category and how many points? Person, this no look safe at all. Me not like them category, yeah? Well, me tell you, me get a hold of the civics book and I'm not going to learn. Me learning too. Right, Ricardo, the executive for 200. All the members who work with the Prime Minister to carry out the affairs of the government. So all the members who work with the Prime Minister to carry out the affairs of the government, what do you call them? What do you call them collectively and what they in? Him have the biggest one so far. And it can be a piece of furniture. But him choose to bypass the smaller one and take the big one, the one you call brick front.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Him have a whole
okay,
brick
we see the answer here.
See the answer that I'm looking for. All right. So, members of the cabinet. So the members of the cabinet work with the Prime Minister to carry out the affairs of the government, and that is for 200 points. So let's see who first. Let's see in terms of the biggest thief position. Let's see who first came in with the correct response. Let me just refresh.
The bigger thief position.
Go all the way up to where 200 start. All right. All right. Ricardo, what is cabinet?
Mm-hmm.
And Ricardo again, what is cabinet? 200. Then Arthur, what is the cabinet? Empress. And she come back more members of the cabinet. Daniel also with members of the cabinet. Ricardo the party shop. Okay, Ricardo, choose the next category and for how many points? Ricardo, oh, that's what it says, Truck Life. May I fear do too much thinking. I like this, and I don't like this. Brain, use your brain. Time we use our brain and stop relying just on technology. Wake up the brain. I'm talk about mathematics for 300.
No much longer.
You to make I'm gonna carry him cover card. Choose a category and for how many points. Government for 100 and choosing conservatively. He is the Prime Minister of Jamaica. That's you first going to type that. The name, I need the name. He is the Prime Minister of Jamaica. Then watch me and look for calculator for maths category and catch Empress. Oh my God. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. So let me just open up. And who is Andrew Holness? And that is for 100 points. All right, so let's see who first came in with the correct response. Ricardo, who is Andrew Holness, 100 points. I didn't mark voting.
All right.
Who is Mr. Clark? Okay. All right, so who's to choose? Gotta say, who is Sticky Fingers? Who is Mr. Love Cup? Police, who is Mr. Cup? Oh my goodness, did I tell you who first came in with it?
Mr. Ricardo.
Okay, so Ricardo, choose the next category. Who's Warmington best friend? Just to throw them out. Okay. Ricardo, choose the next category and for how many points? Judiciary for 300. Okay. This court is the next highest court after the resident magistrate court. So which court is the next court after the resident magistrate court, which is the next level? And that is for 300 points. And that's under judiciary.
It's not right now.
Oh, they won't ever mix them up. Okay. All right, Baron, telling me that my answer is wrong is giving me the correct answer. So let me just reveal. Okay, so it's supposed to be the circuit court.
Exactly.
So my answer is incorrect, and that is for 300 points. Let me hurry up and take my incorrect answer off. I have to go and correct it. All right, so let's see who first came in with the correct response, which is circuit court. Let me see. Somebody, Ricardo, it's not Supreme. Okay, Verona came in with the correct response.
Yeah, so Verona get it
and that
right.
is for 300.
So Verona is on the board.
And then Truck
300 points?
Yeah. And you need to start back for spelling it. So that even me not get me not put the correct answer. Bear enough to correct me on that one. And then Empress also came in, and then BCA says, "Bless up everyone. Welcome, welcome,
Blessings,
BCA. Happy
blessings,
Friday.
BCA.
Thank you so much for joining." All right. So Verona, choose the next category and for how many points? I'm gonna need to correct this one.
So the score as it is, Arthur on 100 points, Verona 300 points, Empress on 1,100 points, Short Life 1,100 points, and Ricardo 1,300 points. Ricky Day in the lead.
Ricky Day lead. Okay, she's saying judiciary for 400. After the Supreme Court finds someone guilty, he or she can appeal the case in this next court. So after the Supreme Court finds someone guilty, he or she can appeal the case in this next court. What is the court? Which court can they go and appeal the case? All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, no delays. And it is, what is the appeal court, or what is the court of appeal?
Yeah.
Right, and that is for 400 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Let me just refresh this. Arthur. Arthur got the 400, now to him 100. So it's not the one digga 100 anymore.
Arthur big in the place.
So Arthur is 400 more points. All right.
So the score as it is, Verona on 300 points, Arthur 500 points, Empress and Truck Life 1,100 points, Ricardo 1,300 points.
Okay, welcome, Hayward. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining. And you have to put answer in the form of a question, what is, for place or thing. And if it's a person, then it is who is, and then the answer. But Hayward came in also with the correct response, appeal court, but minus the question form. Empress. Baga. Happy Friday, Baga. Him go change clothes.
Baga.
Okay, so Arthur, choose the next category and for how many points? Oh my goodness, I'm having a field day in the chat. All right, so legislative for 500. So legislature for 500. This document is passed through the Houses of Parliament and then sent to the Governor General before it becomes a law. This document is passed through the House of Parliament. I don't know, I get houses there. And then sent to the Governor General before it becomes a law. And it's a double score answer. So it's going to be your overall score that's going to be doubled after 500 points is added. So what do you call this document?
That you have?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. All right, and I see the answer that I am looking for. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Let me just reveal the answer, and it is what is a bill. And you get 500 points, and then add it to your score, and then your overall score is going to be doubled. So let's see who got that. Let me just refresh again. Does it finally move? Nichapi said, who are you, Baga? Empress. What is a bill? So Empress, 500 points to Empress's score, and then you're going to double our overall score.
What?
Okay. Baga said legislation, no. And then go back and say bill. Hayward also came in with the correct response. Then Verona.
Okay. So there's no turning back for Empress right now. Verona, 300 points to her name. Otto, 500 points moving from 100. Ricardo, Truck Life, 1,100 points. Ricardo, 1,300 points. Nowhere in the near future you can catch back Empress, 3,200 points.
Oreo cheesecake is now on. Then Ricardo said, then watch the one, Empress, she gone.
Gonna leave.
Empress, choose the next category and how many points does she work on her birthday credit money.
All right. Well, it is surely coming, Empress.
May I tell the teacher, please, the amount of faces and clothes that I'm having, just a change clothes by rapid.
Well, at the last close, Empress change, give her the look here.
Ricardo, I've changed clothes.
Ricardo?
Empress at 200.
Okay.
For which one? Which one only have 200? Okay, legislature. This is another name for the Senate. What is another name for the Senate?
Mm-hmm.
What is another name for the
Senate?
And I think him say no, how him run up with the answer so fast. See? How him run up with the answer so fast. All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for. Known delays. What is the upper house? So another name for the Senate is the upper house, and that is for 200 points. So let's see who got those 200 points. Oreo cheesecake, aka Bagga, aka Ricardo.
Ricardo?
Yes.
300 points?
300 points for Ricardo.
300?
Yes. No, sorry, 200. 200. Then Arthur also got upper house. Verona. Nope. Gotta say I knew that one. Person, me I gonna melt your cheese. Wait. Teacher, please, I feel like I'm in social studies class tonight. Okay, Ricardo said, no, it's 200. Yes, I realized. All right, so who got that? Ricardo?
Ricardo, yeah. Okay,
choose OC saying government for 500. Right, close off government. This is the term given to national elected or selected figures whose roles and responsibilities is to govern the day-to-day affairs of the country. This is a term given to national elected or selected figures whose roles and responsibilities are to govern the day-to-day affairs of the country. Let me see what they're doing in the chat. Okay, and I see the answer that I am looking for. I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is, what is government? Government. So that is 500 points.
Wow.
So, yeah, she put who is, but it can go either way. Me says that who is the Don. All right, so that is 500 points to Verona.
Okay, so the score as it is, Arthur on 500 points. Verona, 800 points. Ricardo, no, Truck Life, 1,100 points. Ricky Ricardo, 1,500 points. And Empress, 3,200 points.
Okay, Verona, choose the next category and for how many points? May I go sleep here, cause what? Cause look like me safe for me there.
Yeah, basically Empress.
And the Empress is Ricardo.
Ricardo? Okay, Ricardo safe too.
All right, so congratulations to Verona per Empress, and she's saying like legislature for 300. This is another name for the House of Representatives, and it's a double point answer. So whoever gets that is going to get 600 points. So this is another name for the House of Representatives.
Yeah.
This is another name. What?
Oh, them are sharp stuff.
Welcome, David in the building. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining in.
Blessed David.
Delco in the building. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is, so another name for the House of Representatives is the lower house. So what this is the Henry Morgan House. All right, so that is gonna be 600 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. No, wait, I have to go through. 300 to choose there. So David running with the correct response, 600 points. So David running, him just run up on the board. All right. So, okay, 1 second. And then Ricardo, Empress. Okay, saying good night, everyone.
All right. And so the score as it is, Otto on 500 points. Otto in trouble, you know. David, 600 points. Verona, 800 points. Chuck Life, 1,100 points. Ricky Ricardo, 1,500 points. And Empress, 3,200 points.
Ricardo, the Empress, you know, may have to watch, you know, and then come get me few little points. Okay. So, Arthur, you need to sharpen up your game for the few little questions that leave.
Yes, Arthur, sharpen
David,
up.
come threaten your spot on the board.
David threaten your future, Arthur.
So David said legislature for 400.
What David have to do?
This person is the head of the House of Representatives. This person is the head of the House of Representatives. I don't need the name, I just need the title. I don't need the name, I need the title. This person is the head of the House of Representatives, just the title.
People them brilliant, man.
All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. And let me just reveal who is the Speaker of the House. So the Speaker of the House is the head of the House of Representatives, and that is for 400 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Okay, 1 sec. Let me just refresh there. All right, legislature, that's where it starts. Ted. Okay. David is on fire. Who is the Speaker of the House? Says Mr. Grant. And that is for 400
okay,
points.
So the score as it is, Otto, 500 points. Verona, 800 points. David, 1,000 points. Chuck Life, 1,100 points. Ricardo, 1,500 points. And Empress, 3,200 points.
Okay, and then Empress also came. Hayworth. Okay.
Why this looks serious?
Empress and my Delco. All right. Wait, repeat the score.
So the score as it is, Otto on 500 points, Verona 800 points, David 1,000 points, Chuck Life 1,100 points, Vicky Ricardo 1,500 points, and Empress 3,200 points.
Okay, all right. David, choose the next category and for how many points? All right, so we have just 4 questions left on the board. Okay, executive for 300. This person is the Minister of Education and Information. This person is the Minister of Education and Information. So everybody run out, skip out, jump out. Yes, 1,000, him just make a giant leap up on the board. Is which year Empress in? Empress, is which year you're in? Like you're back time travel, man. Turn it on it.
Yeah.
Turn it all the way out. I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is who is Favour Williams. So she is the Minister of Education and Information, and that is for 300 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Oh my God. Empress gone back in time. Teacher, please, the competition getting stiff. Tight, Teacher P. Chocolate says stress out tonight. You feel like on chocolate, but you go on good, man. You're still dominating the board. Okay, so David, who is Favour, Jesus, who is Favour Williams.
Okay.
So a moment, who is Favour Williams, and that was for how many points?
All right, so 3 more questions to decide the board.
So 300 points go to David.
Again?
Yes.
Whoa. So David broke one.
May I tell you? Then Arthur, then Ricardo.
Okay, so the score.
Edwards,
the score.
Empress. Oh my goodness. You see it, you said I'm a pirate. All right. So you can go ahead. It must be only education, Ricardo. This one I lifted off something, that question. She's Minister of Education. Yeah, but minus the information. It's a question I lifted off something. So yeah, she's for youth and education. Thanks, Ricardo, for that correction. I will correct it. So Favour youth and education, not information. You give David in points?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so David, choose. You're shocked. All right, so choose the next category, and for how many points, David? Executive for 400. This is the title given to the person who head government ministries. This is the title given to the persons who head government ministries. So this is the title given to the persons who head government ministries. All right. Somebody look like they might go to civics class, or they pay special attention in a social studies or whatever they teach it under in school these days. Who are ministers. All right, so that is for 400 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Because from him coming in a miss. All right. David. 400 points. Who is minister?
No, I'm not blaze, so.
May I tell you?
No, I'm not blaze.
May I tell you?
I'm not blaze.
And Arthur also came in with ministers.
Okay, so the score as it is. Arthur, 500 points. Verona, 800 points. David, Chuck Life, 1,100 points. David, 1,700 points. Ricardo, 1,500 points. Empress, 3,200 points. Whoa. So this now put both Chuck Life, Arthur and Verona in a very serious spot with 1,000 points left on the board.
Teacher, please, I'm nervous.
Yes.
This year, it's Minister of Paris. Ricardo said, this not fair enough because me been there a struggle and such man come and scrape up the points.
Yeah, I tell you.
Then Empress, then watch Delco come and creep up crumbs and green. And that is such it as such a sweating teacher P. All right, so you got that point already. So you say no executive for 500. All right, let's see. This person is the chief prosecutor. This person is the chief prosecutor. I don't need the name, I just need the title. So this person is the chief prosecutor. Just title, no name.
This person lose most of her case. This lose most of her cases.
Okay, so I didn't need the name, I just needed the title. All right, so let's see who first came in with the who is the director of public prosecution or the DPP, and that is for 500 points.
Director of public prosecution. Director of public prosecution.
That's what was meant to be there. But I'm tired, anything can happen. Who's director of public prosecution? So that is for 500 points. So we need to correct the kind of that in here.
So who got that?
DPP constitutional doc. Oh, Jesus, it's gonna pop up.
So
hold on. I'm refreshing. I don't know when. Okay, so Ricardo for 500 points. So struck life, I said I needed the title, not the name.
Okay, Ricardo take for himself.
Then Arthur, then Hayworth. Then Empress, Ricardo, Verona, all right. Got a double look at Father God working. I wonder what he's talking about. All right, the final one, judiciary. This person, I need their title, is the head of the court system in Jamaica. This person, just the title I need, is the head of the court system in Jamaica. Who is the head of the court system in Jamaica?
You only can write the person, so Empress take away the night.
All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. Somebody might redeem themselves a bit here. So let's see. Me no know. Who is the Chief Justice? So the Chief Justice is head of the court system in Jamaica. And that is for 500 points. And the board is clean.
All right, so let us decide.
Who first came in with the correct response. Which Verona said that's unfair. So I guess we might elaborate further down. Okay. Who is Chief Justice? No, Arthur first, but who is Chief Justice? Then Empress, yes.
Ooh.
Then David.
So how much points for that?
500.
Whoa. Jeez, at the last. In knock with Verona.
This teacher means a lot of mercy. I thought you got it first, Empress. I thought, but then I remember I saw Arthur with the answer too, so I had to go back and look again. So Arthur came in with that. Chief Justice, then Empress, yes, then David, and Aworth. Ricardo 6 Boston Toad. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see how this goes. The scorekeeper is tallying the score, and I'm going to rest now. Gotta wake up before 5 to be at the hairdresser by 6 to get my hair done. It was fun tonight. 846 flow. Okay, no problem, Empress. Thank you so much for joining. And have a wonderful and restful weekend. And I hope you wake up on time. Okay. Saying good night, everyone.
Okay, so Empress in the first place, 3,200 points. Ricardo, second place, 2,000 points. David, third, 1,700 points. Shop Life, fourth, 1,100 points. And we finished the board with Arthur coming in at 1,000 points. Good game. Very good game.
Hush, Verona, hush. Arthur said that him beat you by a nose. Hush. She was almost there and him answer that question. Hush. Knock her by really a nose because it's only 200
Exactly.
points.
Only 200 points. And I thought that Verona would definitely up on the board. But I mean, Arthur came in and got that one. So it is what it is.
Kingland asking who won. Empress won.
Empress won, Kingland.
Hayward said, love it. Thank you so much. So thank you so much to everyone who participated, and congratulations to everyone who made the board and to the winners, because making the board is still a big
challenge.
Challenge. So congratulations to everyone who made the board, and Ricardo just running. He not even to make him put his foot down on the ground first and just he just springboard onto the board.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so Empress said to put it to the let me scroll back up a little bit. 408. No. Hold on. Empress 846 flow for Empress. 846 flow. And then Ricardo wants 408 flow. Okay. But if me no wait there for that, I don't know how me I go look for my birthday. Okay. Squeeze to get the appointment. Well, I hope you wake. Set your alarm. Set some form of alarm. Everyone has to me see. Okay. But next time, yes, next time. Today for me, tomorrow for you.
But Veronica came pretty close.
So next time I'm gonna beat you. So
exactly.
So the race is on between she and Arthur, because Arthur come beat her by a nose.
Well, yeah, I'm telling you, that was close.
Well, Uma say it's for 408. Oh, sorry, it's David for 408. Thanks for catching up. Then know so when me tired sometime my brain it's sort of mix up. I just like the kids. I want one to call the other name. Okay, got it corrected, Ricardo. I would have picked up on it though, because I know the numbers when I see them. Okay, so Arthur, you can give me your number on IG. Let me put my IG information in the chat. Net, but has been dropping it, but let me do it. Okay, so send me the number that you want the credit sent to, and make sure you indicate whether the provider is Digicel or Flow. Okay, thanks, Empress. So Empress just dropped it there as well. Okay, then after the credit of the 894 digit. Okay, it's to 894. Okay. And then to 894 digi. Okay. All right, so send me the number that you want it sent to Arthur. Okay. Yeah, I read your comment there if you're referring to the half and half. Yeah, I see it. No, it's never a bother. We're here for you guys. I don't get too much Empress. All right. So guys, we have come to the end. And again, we want to thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate each and every one. And again, we always trust it that you could have been otherwise occupied on a Friday night and you chose to be with us. So we do not take it for granted. And remember, guys, to share out the live. If you're new, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell so that when we are coming live and when we have a live video out, then you can be notified. Full swing, welcome. Said blessings, I'm late, but I'm still here. As long as you show up, we welcome you and we appreciate the support. So thank you for coming in. And happy Friday. And again, Empress, happy birthday when it comes on Monday. And I hope you will have a wonderful Earth Strong day. Oh, next week Independence. Oh my goodness, thank you for reminding. I have been so caught up, sorry, myself with work that some days I am not even sure of the date and the date, to be honest, because that summer most people are on vacation. So those who don't get vacation summer work tirelessly. I've been working since Tuesday and I'm working from Tuesday to Tuesday. So I'm tired. I run upstairs just now because I'm doing laundry while we're doing live. So yep, thanks for putting that in the chat to remind me that it's going to be Independence. Independence is coming up, so we have to prepare something special. Teacher P said it was nice being here. I enjoyed the live stream. Blessing the Six Sensation and everyone here. Lots of love to you guys. Thank you so much, Teacher P. Really appreciate you being here. And okay. All right, guys. So I hope everyone have a wonderful rest of your week and of the weekend, and a wonderful and productive week to come. And as usual, safe travel on the gravel. Stay blessed until next week. Stay safe. Okay, guys. Love you all. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend.